came just in time to catch it. That's it. I'm so proud of y'all. A lot of y'all showing up doing something different. Getting more distinctive, isn't that right? Just sitting here dragging when you want to. Can't live your life like that all your life. Some point you gotta consider your latter end. I appreciate Yahuwah for everything he has done, he's doing. Isn't that right? We're gonna get ready to let him sound that Kato Sarah. A little better, saying the men in their proper places. Boy, we sure been terrible. We gonna fix it though. And every plane on my crew, appreciate them. It's on this Kato Sarah. What I want to do, I want to allow my she out the camera and those outside that's afflicted. I got Liz at home. I got you, sweet. I ain't forgot about you. I want to anoint the camera. She wasn't feeling well. So I want to anoint her and those that not. I want y'all to touch the screen. You ain't got to get no money. Pay what you got. I just want to. His name is Yahusha Mashiach. Those afflicted. How cool hey with him? My Kuf at the outside, I'm gonna shit out them too. He trying to fight you over a fan. Show me Yahusha, I'm gonna see out. Right. Appreciate the lady, they were standing together. Yes, sir. That's what I'm liking it, right? I'll come to the door. And all right. Show me Yahusha, I'm gonna see out. Show me Yahusha HaMashiach. 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 Now move your glasses. Show me Yahusha HaMashiach. Show me Yahusha HaMashiach. Show me Yahusha HaMashiach. Is anybody else afflicted? Anybody else sick? All right. They got it in their back. They come up to the door. Come to the door. Oh, I got my baby. Come on, mama. Shema Yahusha HaMashiach. Shema Yahusha HaMashiach. Shema Yahusha HaMashiach. All right. He told us to call on him while he near. A lot of things we take for granted, just don't know. And this time, he can cut us all off. Shem Yahusha HaMashiach. Shem Yahusha HaMashiach. Ernie, okay. So Ernie can't hear us back down? Okay, I got you. Shem Yahusha HaMashiach. Hold on, Mr. Somebody say that? Hold your head now. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, we don't. No, usually we go ahead and just. There's some more. You got them paying for Michael Jackson? Man, my big man. Shem Yahusha HaMashiach. Shem Yahusha HaMashiach. Shem Yahusha HaMashiach. You sick?
Yes, sir.
Shem Yahusha HaMashiach. I do. Appreciate y'all. That's everybody. Well, everybody all right? Yes, sir. Reason why I want the Mashiach too. A lot of things people don't realize how imperative the teaching really is, you know, how detrimental and crucial things are. So everything, I can't stress enough. We clean up to get right. All of us, me, everybody, because that's my honest desire. Just like that, that Chamyshy song, that's not just some playtime for me. That's my really how I feel. You know, we gotta get this thing right. It's getting close to the end. I know it won't. I'll be honest with you. You look at it, it's like it's bad, but it ain't like bad enough for the world to end. You know what I'm saying? Because every time you look around, they'll give you just a little glimmer, like somebody coming, kind of picking up. Interest rates stabilizing, they kind of slightly dropping. Fed's predicting it, and these are delusions. I assure you, he told you when he said, "Come on, you unaware." A crook don't look like, he's not gonna put no mask on no mile away and be walking up like this. Who gonna let somebody walk up with a mask on like this? Freddy Krueger, he usually get right up on you. But I don't know what that movie, I ain't gonna use that. That's the dumbest thing. I ain't gonna let nobody, I ain't gonna take off my shoes to go outside with no drawers, no t-shirt, and leave my door open. I know he in the house. I walk out the door, I'm not coming back. That's right. That's it. I'm me and these drawers and barefoot. I left the door open. If I think something outside, I don't went around the back of the house again. 9 times he in the house. And I made that move. It won't take about 10 seconds. It ended. It don't make sense. Anyway, Sam said, we're going to get ready to go down and pull out on our knees. And try to turn the heat down a little bit. And those that are able, those that watch it, those that are able. If you got gas, go to BP. Kadash Abba, the separated Father. We come before you right now, earnestly seeking you, that you will baraka those that are hearing the sound of my voice, those that are on the screens and YouTube that are afflicted and going through, that are sick, that you recover, that we understand the detriment of our Kataim and Ma'al, the separation that has come between us. We allow that you would unite, bring us together in a oneness. Make us Tauher pure. Please blot out all of our tumah, our impurities, our Kataim, our sins, and our transgressions. We seek you for healing and restoration, most of all for our Yeshua, our salvation. Please, 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 grant us all entirely with the Ruach HaKadosh, all that have confessed their Kataim and Mahal, that will support you in every aspect, that will commit their Kaya, their lives, their Pasah, their flesh, their Nafash, their soul being and living unto you. We need you to heal not only our light afflictions, but the whole man. We need you to engraft us back and make us of a oneness. We need to be in your Malkuth to see your Pani. We need you to recover and bound up. We need you to fix according to your alarm will, your everlasting will. If it's anything we've done, anything we say, anything that would cause us to distract or hesitate or look back, cast it from us, that we might be made whole. We commit all that are here, all that seek you. If the lob is not earnest, we allow that you turn it this yum right now. If the lob of the mind is not all made up, make it up for them before it's a long too late. Keep our young people, please. Keep them in your heart, the Zakaya. And we've done all we can do. We seek a Beth in your Lord Malkuth, that we can see your pioneer and Tahalym, your Shem better. To the Kabod of Yahusha HaMashiach, and to you, Elohim, Yahuwah, who is Al Shaddai, who is Abarym. In Yahusha HaMashiach Shem, let us all say, Amen. Oh, yeah. All right. We appreciate Yahuwah for all things. Ain't that all right?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. That's all right. You got a heart, man.
Yes, sir.
I said you ain't got to. When they come back here, as a figure of speech, they say, you'll wish you had. Because this thing is definitely winding up on us, people. And people have no idea where we at and what we got to do, but the goal is to make sure we get this right. Appreciate y'all tuning in, YouTubers, all those got a mind to do it, to come to it. I definitely encourage you, if you're watching in and you don't have a someone needs Shalak, you need to try to get him. I'll hold you as long as I can, but make no mistake, This is a decision you got to make up for yourself. And you got to be fully committed. Definitely. Hate seeing them sit on the outside, but we'll see how they work out. We making adjustment changes, rearranging, and in doing that, it puts us in kind of a curious place, because now we have to go back and consider the purpose. You know, when we all, I say for myself, I'm sure a majority of us, when we heard Jesus, he paid it all. He died for it all. And that was something we took off from that, because it gave us a kind of easy point of where we could join. It's okay, I can get in right here. You know, sometimes I remember the merry-go-round that was going around. I used to be one of the people, I helped get it going. You know what I'm saying? Might jump off and keep putting, you know, to get going, you can't get on. People it's too late, you can't get on it at that point, you know. And we got on it where it was spinning, so we like, this is a good place, you know. But had we got on from when the tourer gave the direction and had caught the shadow, there'd been a lot of other things we'd have understood, we'd appreciate where we were. So we caught in a place, and now we having to go back and look at, just stop the merry-go-round for a second. Just stop it. Just stop it from spinning. Let's get back off, and let's start this thing back over. And let's see how it got to that point. Like sometimes it were people that did run and just jumped on, and you know what, y'all remember that? They did no labor. How many of y'all remember people like that? They ran and got on when you were the people that, you know, you first put that old thing, all that dirt to someone, well, oh man, you get that thing finally going, and somebody get on there, they like, man, we going, you looking at, but you weren't here when we started this thing off. That's kind of the situation we've had with our boat. We kind of just got on. We weren't there when the thing got started. So we didn't appreciate how it got to this point. That makes sense to y'all? My understanding, thinking, is that he has us to a point now where it's time for us to consider, to go back and consider, how did we get to this point? And look at what they actually endured, what they suffered. What were the rituals? What were the rites that we just, you know, we got a right to? That's where we come in. I got a right to the truth. It's like older people would tell young people today, son, it was harder back in my days. You know, they came through, Aim Smith came through and some others, Malcolm, through when it was segregated water fountains. You remember that, Aim Smith? Segregated, and y'all didn't think, did you think anything about it? Did you have in your mind that one day this will be over, one day it's gonna be everybody used the same bathroom, everybody had the same right? Did you think that day would come? Well, Uncle Lancaster, are you old enough to remember any of that segregation? Okay, no, Malcolm, I remember that, he remember that when they started it. Well, I mean, that's true. Because in the garden, everybody had the same rights, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, except they couldn't eat the tree, he didn't eat the tree, yeah. So a lot of this is new to Malcolm, then Malcolm came out the scene, kind of like Mel Sadiq. He came on the scene, took tide, then he left, then he popped back up. So I understand it now. But, you know, in saying that, it's just like sometimes, you know, like sometimes people with businesses, what they'll do with their kids, they'll make them start like just cleaning up or make them as a regular worker, as Yahusha did, as he did with Yahusha. Yahusha couldn't just come down here and just die in all his apparel. He had to come down here and he had to take on the form of a servant. Did y'all realize that? Everything that you did, he had to do that. Because he walked down here with that stuff on, with everything in his full strength. It's like, you still don't have nothing in common with us. You got on the flesh, but you don't have the suffering. You know what I'm saying? You hadn't gone through like we've gone through. You hadn't been tested. And for us, a lot of times we, you know, I think that's why it's easy for us as a people to kind of mess up, neglect, let go of, and not like give the most earnest heed. I talked about it last night, you know, in kind of humorous way at the end. If you've seen 23,000 people die right in your face, 23, that ain't no little number. That's a lot of people. You count up them bodies, man, you thinking, you might have a guesstimate in your mind, 23,000 people just died. 20, and I was thinking on it, I've committed this act. I was about to recommit this act, and this man killed these people right in my face. This put a seriousness on my mind. This made me sit down and consider. So I think we have to go back. I want to say thing. I know we got to go back because we got to get an understanding of where we are, where he's trying to get us to. And you got to understand the cost that's been involved in all of this. And we hadn't. We really hadn't. We can say we do. We can say we cry here and there. But do we have that to where that's a continual behavior that we have, that we always considering? Are we always mindful? Are we always considering our life? And, you know, the commitment we have, a lot of times we haven't because we hadn't put in the work. So, you know, the direction he's carrying it, I'm appreciative. I myself am a follower. I'm following as well. My goal is to make sure I get rid of every defect that I have, along with making sure we clean up all these defects, get all these chinks out of our armors. Because there's a day of mosh pot coming. And if you don't have every line of defense set, you're gonna fall. I ain't even gonna lie to you. You're gonna fall. I ain't gonna tell you just, you know, I'm gonna keep praying. Yeah, I'm gonna pray, but I'm gonna be honest with you. You're gonna have to live. It's only so much I'm gonna be given to do. And it comes to a point that each and every one of us are going to have to make up our mind. Those people sitting outside, they represent people that's on the outside. That's what they represent. They represent that. So there were people that got an opportunity to come in. There were people that weren't. And let me ask you, did any of y'all make that happen to yourself? No fault of their own. But did that change the Torah? See, this is what we come in to consider. See, you have to understand just how this thing works. Like he said, I have become on whom I will. Who do this? One of y'all like so those that's in here that's not in unclean, go up there and make him change it. Go up there and question him, ask him what, grab me this collar and ask him what he's doing. Go tell him it ain't right. It don't matter if it's your wife, my wife, your mama, your sister, your daughter, my daughter, your cousin, your auntie, your best friend. Listen, he said, I'm Yahuwah, I change not. Now, this is the thing you consider. We said, do this. Just don't do that part. Get rid of that part. The way he works at this, I entangled it all together. So if I got Kool-Aid Dave, and I got the sugar in the Kool-Aid, and I got to get rid of the sugar out the Kool-Aid, how do I get the sugar out the Kool-Aid? I appreciate that, Dave. You're exactly right. You know that's what he has to do if he do that, if he get rid of that part, because we don't like it. We don't think it's fair. He said, well, I'll tell you what I do. I throw the whole thing away. What does that leave you? That leave everybody out. See, this is where he brings us into now looking at, as we transition and we change it, these changes, I ain't make them. To say I made me to say I wrote the word. I myself am a student of. I'm like the Malachi told you, now he went back, listen, he said, don't shakar me, shakar Elohim. I keep the sayings of the Sefer. And when you look at, when you have to keep it, it puts in situations to where sometimes you say, well, and you look at, hey, that's how it's written. It's written because he said, I have become on whom I will, and I will harden myself on whom I will. And the thing, when you see other people in situations to consider, it can be you. It can be you. I remember on the movie, and I'll quote movies sometimes because I know some people might remember. How many of y'all remember the movie Scarface? I remember when Sosa, when Tony was sitting there, and he came back out and they had the helicopter up top. And he gave him the binoculars. He told him, he said, one of my colleagues told me that he was an informer. He gave him the binocular. He looked at him. He threw him outside that helicopter, hit him and threw him out. He looked, and he gave it to him. He said, you know, you can't blame Frank for a piece of crap like that. He said, that could happen to anybody. He said, it can even happen to you. He let him know flat. It can happen to you too. You could be hanging from it. That could happen to somebody in your organization. You know what you consider when you see people on the outside? When you say, at least I'm on the inside, it can happen to you. Yeah. So where does it put us at? It puts us in a place to where you have to be able to feel one another's infirmities. See, that's the purpose of why we have to be so closely connected. See, then because some of us have real relatives out there. I mean, we relatives as Mishra call. Some got wives out there. Some got sisters out there. Some got children out there. Y'all know in the day of Mosh Pot, that's how it's gonna be.
How many of y'all rode him together? And I'm talking about when you rode him together and the person you rode with is on the outside. Let me see the hand. One person. But I said, you got somebody on the outside, don't you? That's tight. Okay. You got to get a check for that one. I ain't you could have been said that. That's all we had to do. Where you at, Boston? Where you at, Boston? Mm-hmm. I'm looking at that man. He said, I don't know nobody. Where's that? In the circle? Where's that, Malcolm? Find it. Come on. Look at that. Malcolm said, I know everything, Smith. Where you at, Malcolm? Where you at? Right, well, put him right there. I don't say it. Shit, I don't say it though. Right, okay. Right, okay. Okay. And where you are? That's what I'm talking about, yeah. You see that from way over there? God, dude. I know everything, Smith. Well, everyone was, hold on, you better get there. I appreciate it. But so you imagine, just using it for example, Kerry said he's the only one that had a physical relative that he rode with. Nobody else? Nobody around? You got a relative that's outside right now? That's tight. That's all I'm asking for, Jordan. Your dad doing security, right? Thank you, Jordan. Who you got? Somebody? Okay. So you think about that. Give your dad one too. Come on. Father like son. So now what you look at, appreciate it. So just using those two. Karen and Cam, come and have the door. When you can't, you think about this when you come, because I said it to you guys this morning so you can. Think about when you come, that's not an expectation you typically have. You're looking at, we're going to the Beth Alahim. We're going together. But we all gonna do this same similar thing in the human mosh pot. Every one of us gonna come. And you know what's gonna happen when we get down? And you see what separates us? The cough, the wall. It's gonna be a separation between us. He gonna set one on the one side, and the other he gonna set on the other side. He gonna tell one side to depart from him. He gonna tell the other part to come in. Don't y'all know this is a simulation of what he gonna do to us? Y'all know how, just watching this today, how this going, this show you how things happen. We just kind of have in ourselves a mindset of what we feel like things are gonna happen. Things just gonna work out, things are just going to be. No, things are going to be just like he set them to be. That's why you gotta make sure that you're working in his will. This is what you look at. Everything he done predestinated is there. He's predestinated that there's some on his yamin, that there's gonna be some on, I think it's Saphon for the left. And when he's done this, the only way you have a part in it is that you're gonna have to choose. Those choices that you're going to make are going to have to be conducive to salvation. Just like you make a choice to commit qatar. See, when Adam and Ka'ur was in the garden, you ain't gonna believe it. You know what they couldn't say? The serpent, the Nakash made me do it. They could say, as she did, he beguiled me. But then when we read it, he clearly told us. But she looked at it and said, but it was pleasant to the eye. Let's go where he said it, but he still came back and let us know. That was some day we would have never known. He let us know, I saw her heart. It was pleasant to the eye. And he said she had a desire. She had the desire that it could make me smart. He let us know there was some inner workings. A lot of times we say, what other people did, and they played a part, but he let us know there was something there. There was something there. And that conversation was already in a place of, that's what you wanted. When it came down to Balaam gave us some great right. Balaam the one told her that Elohim don't lie. We didn't know that, we didn't know, we could assume it. Balaam told us that Elohim don't lie. Said he wasn't a man that he would lie. Said neither is he the Ben or Adam that he would repent. Said he said something, he don't do it. And if he said it, won't he make it good? He said, listen, he done told me to barak y'all, and I can't even change it. He said, I can't even reverse it. Then later on, he took that money. And he came with an honest intent. Could I ask you something, Yahuwah? The merciful. They want me to go and just want me to go and want to talk to me about something. They want me to go. But I want to know from you, because I don't want to do nothing though I don't want to be outside your will. Yahuwah said, go ahead and go with him. Just say what I tell you to tell him. That wound up being that he fall. You know, we learned out later that he loved the wages of Rosha. See, but he had to be found out. See, start out good, great conversation. Later on, we looked at, he already had that thing. That's why that word got to search the reins of us. Because nobody can dispute it, right? We read them, we quote them. We found out he had a love, though. Oh, he had a love for that thing. We don't need that to be us. So we coming through, we examining something, we cross-examine. We heard some statement, let's put them back on the stand. We need to ask some more questions. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to cross-examine some of this stuff yesterday. Sometimes that's what they'll do. You have a person, somebody might have a witness, and they'll go ahead and, the defense might have somebody, they bring their witness. They said no further question out for their witness. The prosecutor might just say, well, I got some questions for him. Now, I heard you say, because I need to cross-examine, we need to go back over what you said. Because based on what I just want to make sure I think I hear some loopholes or I hear some defects in your conversation. So I need to cross, ask permission to cross. Y'all got it? Yes, that's amazing. That's what they did with Yahusha, didn't it? Where did they kill him at Boston? Where they hung him at? On the cross. Yeah, that's it. Because they were trying to, we had to re-examine it. Why y'all think they put him, think about it. Don't the prosecutor ask to cross-examine? Yes, you ain't going to believe it, Dave. Then Pilatus had already asked him questions. And so then the Rosh Kohen them took it. So let's say he was cross-examined. They took his clothes off and everything. They stripped him immediately. The soldiers stripped him first. Then he was stripped by them before he wanted to. Man, that cross-examining. Only Yahuwah can do that. So with that being said, it's just things we want to go over and we want to just make sure we get to perfection. Y'all got that?
Yes, sir.
Make sure and the only person cross-examine sometimes, you're trying to make sure you got the right answers. That's all. We just want to make sure we got it right. Y'all got it? Because I got people on the outside, I got people on the inside. I got people on another side. So we looking for Yahuwah to do this. I got people dispersed out. So we got people everywhere. We got to make sure we get this right. Y'all got it? Because when you start putting out directions and orders and things, you got to make sure they line up with the word. They're people's lives. Let me tell you something. A lot of preachers are reckless. Have I been reckless? Yes. And then what you have to look at, and it goes to kind of like with, and the only reason I can say that is looking at now, based off just like Abarym, who the father, who they call Abarym, Abimelech, is who it is, but they call Abimelech, I think it is. So when he took Sarah, and he said he had took her, what was that he took her? In integrity and honesty. And and we found out it was still wrong. It was still wrong. We found out in the book of Yaquara last night that if you had touched something was an unclean bug, a flying swarming thing, a clean bee, and you ain't know that, he ain't gonna believe it because he told him, I'm gonna kill you. I was gonna kill you. So that show you tell me how critical that walk is. When that was never your intent, I'm gonna kill you. That's how critical that walk is. And we look at, man, if I'm doing something, I guarantee this ain't ignorant. so you justify say how now? But think about how many of us thought if it were ignorant though, it was, I ain't gonna lie, I thought it was. I thought some things are ignorant now. You know what I'm saying? It was an ignorance and you were honestly doing something. So how much we didn't know, how much we took for granted. Because the man said he was Sadiq. Not only him, the whole Goyim was Sadiq. That man said, yeah, I'm planning on killing every one of y'all. Because you done took something and you didn't know and it was wrong. So how much can you afford to come here and not know? But you see you see the understanding he's giving us now? That we've taken for granted? Yes, sir. Oh, I mean, there's some things I don't know. Yahuwah just going to take care of that. What if he don't? What if he leave you in it? What if he let you get everything else right but that? See what I'm saying? You see how critical their walk is. Guess what now you look at you got to do? Man, you got to stay prayed up. You got to stay. I sent out another one of y'all that morning. Listen, man, I tell you, I don't know how many times. Because you got to consider. You got to consider. You got to consider. It's so many things. It's so many obstacles. It's so many diversions. You know what I'm saying? It's so many consequences. It's so many rituals, so many rights you got to keep till you obtain this thing that he's established, that he gave us Khan. Look at what he put in the way till you get here. So although you are saved by Khan, favor, and not by the Torah, you can't get here without the Torah. That's the only walking road you got. Do you agree, Pastor? Is it another road I can get to, bypass that, and I come straight into come? How many of them, think about this, religions taught us this. I mean, the law like it was nothing. It's the grace and mercy. Grace and mercy. To an extent true, reckless, because you couldn't get there unless you came through the Torah. There's no way. There is no way. How did Abraham get to Canaan? Because let's get this straight there. Did he give him, y'all ain't dumb, some of y'all, did Abraham get to Canaan, just appear there, or he had to go through by the letter? Let me tell you why I say the law. Because he told you that Abraham obeyed his laws, his statutes. He told him to go from his Abba's house. He did not give him the berith that he gave him until he got there. Right. So how did he get there? He had to come through by the Torah. Right. Think about it. How did he appear there? When he told that man, get out from your Abba house. I'm going to make you a great Gui. He did not give him an established to when he gave him the token until he got there. So all these things we set back to consider, he had to travel through and he had to obtain this thing and he had to come through by the shadow. And that's what we got to look at. That's what we got to look at. This thing right. I know it right. When I say I know it right, I ain't saying I know, everything come out my mouth is right. I know everything that Elohim proclaiming right. Let me be clear with that. I know the way right. Listen, I'm set on this, and I'm set on the recovery of us and them as well. I'm set on the recovery. We don't know, man. I'm like Shaul, man. My members out there, it's different than some of y'all. You ain't got nothing in it. I got something in it, because them mine. Till he come back. I'm occupied until he come. Them mine. And when they mine, I got to look. I'm in a straits between two. I'm a straight between two. And I got to make sure that I follow the letter and make sure I get this thing just like he said, and I can't veer from it either. Listen, it don't matter where my Lord at and what my intent to do. He said, if that's it, that's what it is. And we're going to come through and we're going to look at this thing and examine so others can say, and you can consider. You just a step away. You just a minute away from being now, and next step, you be moot. Okay? Let's look at this right quick, Romans 15:4. I'm just curious for my the ones out there, do they put you in a different perspective sitting down versus when you say them? Does it make you consider how you take things, and sometimes you don't really consider things for what they are and look at steps are so close. It's so easy to be somewhere before you know it. Man, you be cut off, and you ain't gonna believe it. Won't none of this stop. He's not finna stop there for nobody. It'll still keep going. So let's look at this thing right here, okay? I said, look at that. Look at this first. Let's see where we at. Romans 15:4. Appreciate all those again that listening in, following. Yahuwah willing, he give you understanding. If you consider what I say now, you consider what I say, then he'll give you understanding all things. That's for the rest of y'all too. Just consider what I say. All right, listen.
For whatever Nikatab before.
Whatever written before.
Nikatab to Lamidas.
It was real. It was set to we told it to teach us, to show us, and to instruct us. We clear on that? Make sure that's how you operate. Teacher. That's going to be showing you and instructing you and directing you so you know what to do. Okay? Listen.
So that through the Nakum, through the endurance.
So that through the endurance, going through without quitting.
And through the Nakum of the Ketubim.
And through that, so that, and going through without, and through the Nakum, the constellation of the writings.
We might have Tikva.
That's, you know what? That's how we got this separation. Y'all know how we got this separation? From what was written. Y'all need to know how we did that. We didn't do this. Nobody couldn't do this but the word. It was outside the word. The word that told us to do this. See, the only reason you know, think about we weren't doing it before, because you weren't looking at the word that way. See, he's trying to show us to come back and redirect us and say, what does it say? That's what you got to do. It don't matter where your feelings at. What does it say? That's what you got to do. Y'all got it? Okay. And we're going to have, and guess what? They got to be able to sit back and look at taking what he said and having a mind that they call faith, tikva, and that he can recover. But you can't do it outside of what he said. Listen, everything that got you out there is the same thing got you to get you in. To show you how that worked. Oh my goodness. Let's sit at the 5th chapter book of Romans. Y'all follow me. I forgot my notes. Y'all gonna work with me? Yes, sir. She did a terrible job with keeping up with them cards. Terrible job. My cue cards. Let's see, the 5th chapter book of Romans. See that 5. 12. See if that's 12 or so. Romans 5 and 12. So at some point you got to get out of going with what you like and go with what he said. That's what we've done. I've done that. We have. You just don't recognize it sometimes. It's easy to just go with what you like versus what he said. Yeah, it ain't about what we like, it's what he said. Because it all worked for the self-same purpose. See, if people put the confidence in him to know that he got a purpose. I remember the 18, the original, not the movie. And you know, he'd pull his cigar, he'd tell him, he said, I love it when a plan comes together.
That's right.
Because they wouldn't understand, he said, I love it when a plan comes together. Y'all remember that?
Yes, sir.
That's the kind of confidence he wanted them to have in his group. He wanted them to have in him when things they didn't kind of see it and do it. Why we can't have that kind of confidence in Yahuwah? Okay, let's see. This is 5 and I think 12. Listen.
Therefore, when Thru one each, Qatar came into the alarm, and Moot was in the result of Qatar. And so Moot passed over all the Bani of Anashim.
Y'all see what he said? He said, therefore, he's talking about when one man came into the alarm, came into the world. That's how it came. He let us know how it came to end. What did he say? Now, say it again, please, so I can.
Therefore, when Thru one each.
See, it lets us in Thru one each. So you ain't going to believe it. Now, guess what we found out from the writing? That, boss, you can raise your hand if y'all in the preacher, y'all felt like, y'all said, well, that's not correct. Y'all ain't going to hurt me because it ain't going to make me up because it's about the people. It can't be about me. So, the fact that you say through, can we look up the word through? Because I want to understand. Y'all know my lack of education. I can mess up real quick up there now. Y'all don't want that. Please don't leave it in my hand, my education. We'll be messed up here. Look, through moving in one side and out of the. Found out that sin came in through the law. That's what we found out how it got its strength. That's how it got its strength. It was the law. See, if there's no law, ain't no transgression. So now we don't find out how the transgression entered in. It came in through man. That's what you just found out. Now this is new information for some of us. This is new information. Because it just, according to what he just read, it said through. See, certain words had to be trigger point for you. By can be having a hand. By is not the same as through sometimes, based on how it's used. But when you said through something, I know that's in and out of the other side. So now we're finding out how Qatar came into the alarm. Y'all got it? Well, let's look at this. How the transgression, because we're still trying to find how we got this fault here. Well, let's look at how through. And it makes sense now when you hear every reference being of Derek, Adam. Because let me see, how did you come by? Through the loins of. So this started making sense that you start looking at, and it makes sense that he started calling you the benim of transgressors, transportation, what I was thinking, transgressors. Because you can see how the operation worked now. Y'all, this is almost surgically done. Now you start looking at through how it worked and how you became the children of transgressors. Because he's looking at how the entry point came in. It came in through him. We're talking about the transgression. And from that point, it went through to every man. That's a good thing. That was a good thing. And people recognize that. Did you know that? That's how we found, I think, in the 18th chapter book of, let me see, Yaquara. They'll call it Ezekiel. That'll tell you right there that Elohim strengthens. That's what that book tells you. And you know what they found out? That the fathers had eaten some sour grapes and that the children's teeth were set on edge. So it was through the offense of the fathers that the children wound up being transgressors. So it came through by the fathers. So we had to find this out from a book that was named that Elohim strengthens. You know, it's things that you can do to strengthen your teeth, like helping to build your enamel and other things you could do. That's amazing. That's amazing. Because he came to put the part, because he came in, the dentistry, we had to give it to him first. The fact, even it came to Yaquara, he came and told him to eat the whole book. He talked about taste. So it was something set to try to strengthen the teeth. So the part of words that come out. So when we start to look at these things, we really start to look at how things work. Because later he told us, guess what he said? He said they won't be using it. You won't be talking like that no more. Don't talk like that anymore. He changed the speech. He came and strengthened them because listen, the children were looking at, really, everything that happened to me is not a cause and effect of me. This is something that came through by the Father. So I actually have nothing in this. So you know what he did? He said, you know what I do? I'm going to strengthen you. So he had a man named Alaph Strengthens. So if you were without the strength and power, when you need somebody with strength? Yes, let's just see. Alaph being what? The supreme ruler? Al Shaddai, the most powerful? Wouldn't it make sense to go into a book if you lack something to see where you can get it? People got enough sense that they found out they were lacking bone density and certain, they'll go and get supplements. So the whole book we find out now is supplements. But first we had to understand the violation. What were we dealing with? Because a lot of times you can flip through books and start looking for stuff, but is that really what you need? Let me tell y'all something. I sent out a text to y'all this morning, and I asked y'all to pick out some Zamar. I said, y'all pick out your 3 of them or whatever that y'all want to hear. Somebody picked me and Alicia saying, I said, well, I got to come in, let somebody else do it. Plus, I was trying to get members to do it. No offense to that visitor. You all right? They're not of a lower standard. Sometimes you could be royalty, right? A king, a duke, a earl, or maybe even a princess. Just never know these days how things go, right? So in the list, and send it to you, I asked y'all to pick, and amazingly, some of your picks. This is why I try to get y'all, I want to see y'all that. Do y'all pay attention to direction? No. Real time, y'all don't pay attention to direction where we're going. I seen some of the pay, I just kind of glanced through, I look. I say, y'all don't pay attention to direction of where you're going. I put something, I just want to see if y'all pay attention to the direction you're going. Certain things you want to look at, where we going, what we're doing, what directional points you need to be looking at. So a lot of times that just show me that's more work that we have to do to kind of get you. I know y'all want to kind of jump, flip-flop all everywhere and do things, but I want y'all to kind of pay attention to direction. What are you trying to receive? What you trying to get? What direction are y'all actually trying to go in? Exactly. You have no direction. Your compass is off. Because I really try to get y'all to I want to just see where you're at for yourself. Because you need to be able to make choices. Even Yahusha, when he took over the lead after Mushapa, he said, choose you this day. So there are choices that put in your hands to do, because I sometimes want to see, what's your appetite? You know, you might ask me, what do you want to eat? Let's go get us some catfish and some shrimp. Just say, crack. So you know, how you look at that person? You know we can't eat that. Oh, okay, you asked me. Well, don't ask me then. So it started to show your mindset. You see what I'm saying? So I'm really trying to get us to work on us having the same mind. You know, that's what he want to do. That he urged us that we all speak. What was that again? The same thing, and that there be no what? Mm-hmm. That's tight, because we getting the same teacher. A lot of things should almost kind of, encompass one another. Y'all got what I'm saying? I know you really start looking at your church. This one, and this is what I want y'all to consider too. That's a simple thing. Where are you at, Ruachman? That's gonna make a lot of choices on what I want to listen to. Okay, you trying to obtain something, trying to get something, you try to flop around and jump around somewhere. Is that where you at? You don't see how a lot of things you do play a part of where you at. That y'all don't consider like that. I mean, I ain't thinking about it, I was just thinking. But if you trying to obtain something, what direction you need to be going? Y'all gotta say, at some point you start looking at what's essential, you know what I'm saying, and what's excess. Excess. Some things are excess. You know he told you that? Yep. Excess. You know, I mean, if I'm excess, I'm sorry, excess. I'm saying excess, almost like intro, but y'all know what I meant. Yes, so we learn that excess. And this is sometimes what we do. Some things are excess. It's kind of like when this guy, and I would not call his name because we're not doing it. I'm saying, I heard a preacher say, you never heard one name come out my mouth. So I'm not going to do that. I think it's tacky to do that and call somebody a name. But when Dwayne had went to court, I mean, it's for that little nigga in every one of us. So anyway, the person, he went to court and he put the police on the stand because he asked for a jury trial. He didn't think the judge had a jury. They had him up there. He put that joker, he asked that joker a question. What do you do? He said, police officer, okay. What did you say? He said, write tickets. How many tickets you don't write? He's about 800, 1,800 something. That's excessive. And he looked at the jury. Dwayne said he seen what I'm saying. He called me after that trial. He said, preacher, I think I got him. I said, yeah. He said, when I told him, he told me that what he said. I said, oh my goodness. He said, one of the jury looked at me and said, you're exactly right. They brought that jury, brought him back in. They said, it took them a while. They was out there for like 15 minutes. They came back in there. Because they knew right for right. And they came in there, guilty. Oh! He said, preacher, I'm going to jail. It took them a long time. They come in, them folk, they said now they debated. Them folk were back and forth and fussing, calling names, Bailey coming back and forth. Go get more coffee. Go get them something to eat. And them folk back in there about 15 minutes, guilty. They said, one of them hollered, we don't need to deliberate. I got the rope right here. But they had to wait on the other 11. So that's what we start looking at now, and you know, and hear them saying, but start looking at sometimes what's excessive. And sometimes when you have excessive, it'll tend not to put you in certain positions to where you really consider. Sometimes why you think he stripped people down? Because sometimes when you lack, you tend to look for now, I'm depleted. So I need to be strengthened. You know what I'm saying? I need something at that point. Sometimes you got excess, you don't tend to see it that way. You know what I'm saying? It's like he told you when the man had the barn. He said, I got much good laid up for many years. He's going to tie his old barn to build a new one. He said, thy fool. He said, this later, he said, your soul going to be required. He said, now who you going to get at what you got laid up? So sometimes you got to be careful about excess. Mm-hmm. Y'all got what I'm saying? It's just in conversation. So again, we're just trying to really watch this in its whole totality and try to make sure we get this thing right, because it's critical for us. Okay, let's finish up what we got here. So we understand Thru now. So therefore, when Thru one each, what happened?
Qatar came to the Alam, and Moot was in the result of Qatar.
So that's what he said. So now we need to understand something. Basically, what he just told you here, and death was in the results. Can we see what results are, please? For some of y'all to understand, you take a test. Some of you don't even need it because you know you failed. But just for GP, they give it to you anyway. Make you wait a week or whatever. You know you failed that thing. You know you ain't got to wait. Like I had somebody tell me one time, Uncle Lancaster nephew, he came there one time, he told me, he came to my office, this was some years ago, he told me, he said, I tell you what, he said, I might not be the Lord's best child, I might be a worse. He said, but then again, he said, we don't know till you get back here. I said, hold, stop. I said, you ain't got to wait today. I said, you're not here best. He said, I'm not. I'm like, come on, you serious? He said, we don't know that till you get back here. He said, I might be a best child. I was like, I would not have you waiting all that time. I said, no, we're going to let you know, no, you not. So let's see, a result is, listen, a consequence, effect, or outcome of something. You need to know how you got to death. Sometimes people, like, we doing a lot of stuff, clean up our diet, taking a lot of things so we can prolong, what was it? Life. That's it, prolong life. That's what you're doing with obeying the word. That's the best he could give you right now. It's because, let me see what word I'm going to use, a result of. So now what we find out with the keeping of the Torah is because of the results. Sometimes, like, you do some blood work and they come back and they say, you got some terminally ill cancer. You have some other type of situation you might have going on. So now, because of that, you might have to do something like what, maybe dieting, take some type of radiation, go through some other type of rehab or treatments or other kind of, some other type of formalities you might take. And that might be because of the results, or from the consequences. Now you're having to do that. So this is what we having to do because of the consequences and the results, that sin came through by one man and we all gonna die. We got our results back. Hello? Yes, sir. So based on the results and the consequences of what's going, this sound all right what I'm saying, y'all? Is this getting off? Y'all know I ain't that sharp now, that bright. So with that happening, now we having to go back and look at what can we do to prolong. Kind of like when he told the kids about obeying their parents. That was the first one, the first one. And that one had a promise, a commitment to it, that it'll go, what was that? You ain't gonna believe it. You can be sick and still be well. It is. It's some people sick, but they're doing well. So what he didn't want you to do, people say, I'm doing well. You ain't heard nobody tell you that they were sick. You ain't gonna believe it. I'm dying. Ask me how I'm doing. I'm doing well. I'm doing well because of the treatment. I'm still gonna die. It prolongs. So he said that it might be well with you and that you might live long. I couldn't say forever because it wouldn't be right, because I don't want to take off the table. You gotta die and give you some false premise. Sometimes I remember we had somebody, I think the last person that died, CJ, I remember going to the hospital seeing him. He said, Pat, I feel good though. He said, who remember him? Anybody remember him telling that? He said, I feel good though. They keep saying, this is that doctor, she walked in, she said, listen, I don't want you to know false illusion. She said, you dying. I was like, man, saying he feel well though. He said he felt good. He said, I feel pretty good. She said, I'm just telling you, I don't want you to know false illusion. She said, you dying. She let him know she cut no corner with him. And I don't want to give you no false illusion too. I don't care what you say with your mouth. I don't want to give you no false illusion. You dying. Because that's what we're going to call a consequence. That's the outcome from when sin came in through one man. That's why he keeps referring to you and all other people as the being of Adam. Even Yahusha was called the being of Adam. What that, based on what you know, what did Yahusha kind of come to a conclusion of? Ain't that something? That he knew he had to die. So why am I so stupid to believe I don't? When I'm being of Adam. It didn't make sense to y'all what I'm saying? Because for some reason we need to get this and it needs to be set in a proper setting. You know what I'm saying? So we don't come up with no false conclusions about this whole thing, okay? The best we can offer or we can do because of the results and the consequence and the outcome is we can prolong. But I would tell you this, you don't want to take too long to try to get this right. You want to be trying to work on this. Because now where we at after this, and it's like what some people do, they sit down and start to put their affairs in order. Start looking at maybe writing down some things, or how I want things to happen, because I'm going to have to transfer out. Now, what we're trying to do is not so much worry into transferring out of here, but trying to transfer into the Malkut, into a different state. But in order to do that, as how sin came through, so Kai came through another man. And to get into it, so basically what we did is kind of did, let me borrow you for a second, please. Here, stand, you, here, please. So kind of, we'll use this, you turn face, no, kind of here. So basically, say he would represent hypothetically Adam, okay? So now everything will come through him. So what we do, this is us. Now the goal is to go out through Yahushua. Because he told you the door. Both of these are doors. This was a bad interest point. This was a bad entry point. Sometimes, you ever seen these space shuttles they go out and leave? You know what they look for? This is something stupid. Anybody know anything about science? Go for it. You know about science? Come on, I need a check, bitch. Come on, my brother just called. Come on. I said, anybody know about science? Ryan looking around like this. I want to follow me up here. Come on, follow. Come, keep on following. Come, we almost down. Come. So now with that, with science, so you know what they try to say is when these shuttles go out, what people miss, they say they have to, it's a certain entry point coming back in. Correct. In order without an explosion, without something happening, right? So now we figured out to go out of him because we came in through a bad way. But if we go out of him right, you know what I'm saying? It's a safety for us. So when Yahusha told him the door, we came in through a bad entry point, but we got opportunity to go out through the right way. Y'all got it? We can't change it. The entrance is him. We can't go back this way. Even Nick Damone told him that. He said, can a man go back? He was talking about the woman through the womb. But let's be practical. Adam had a womb. We'll call it W-O-U-N-D, wound, opening, but it was similar to a womb. where an entry point came in. It was bad. It was bad. And what Yahusha did, so it be no speculating, guesstimating, what I'm going to do, I can't leave that old big man. I'm going to have to close that up. Because I know them coons will try to go back out through the way they came. So now he left us with no other option. You got to go out through the door. You got to go through the door. Didn't make any sense? Yes, oh, appreciate y'all. So understanding the entry point, exit point, that's based on what we heard. Let's look at it again. I hope I ain't mess up nothing. Through, please. Y'all, I'm trying. We're limited. When you limit it, you can only do so much now. Moving in one wedo. Isn't that amazing? Because what was that wound he put in his leg? You remember he talking about how calf muscle, he blowed that calf muscle. Y'all remember Adam Abdullah, he talking you remember that, what was that in his calf muscle? That's amazing because it said it's moving in one, and out of the other. Where did exactly that wound was in his neck, in the throat of Yahushua? Ain't that amazing? 2 entry points. 2 entry points. Now, we can't change the first one because he closed that one down. But he set one, and he set it up to where, listen, you're almost forcibly left to have to go through. You can see now why last night we read with Mushah, when he asked Yahuwah, the Elohim, what was that again? Basar, since the entry flesh was through the Basar, how about you do this? Why don't you set, what was that again? A man, each, because that one is not, we can't use that one anymore. That one closed. So let's go back through one that you set up that was similar. Set a man that, you know what, that can do what? That can go out, that can come in, and that can lead them out and bring them in. So not bring you back in, but bring you back into a long, he's going to take you out of this life and into a long Kai life. He said, so that way you don't be as a sheep that have no shepherd. Because sheep could never lead themselves out. It would be dangerous for a flock of sheep to try to lead themselves. They need a ra'ah and somebody who can see. Also, ra'ah does not lead to just pastor. The word ra'ah also means to see. It's critical. We talked about last night, how this whole thing works. And people miss things, because I know it's not supposed to happen the way it is. Don't you know? You got to be made to see. You got to be made to see. Whether you recognize it, whether you understand it or not, it's going to be dangerous if you don't, but you're going to need to, because if you don't, it's going to be a detrimental state for you. He told you why he came into the law. How many of y'all seen this the first time you came and before you came, seen the way? What that would have meant for you then? You'd have been made, you were blind. So how many of y'all can see it now? You ain't gonna believe it. That's how he came. That's why he came into the law. See what you read last night, you don't believe just how true. I mean, I was a Christian. You read that, you don't know, he talking about them hypocrites. That's because when I was taught, he cutting them hypocrites down, talking about me. He would cut me down, everybody saying, because you see. He said he had to be made to see. Let's look at one right quick. Acts of the Apostles. Acts of the Shalakim. They'll call apostles. Those guys will be impostles. But we're going to look at the Shalakim, the sent ones. Acts of the Shalakim, the 9th chapter. 15th verse right quick. Then we'll move. We'll kind of get back over. That the heat? Oh, okay. I guess it cooked me up now. Who all that cold? They could be outside in the cutoff area. Y'all can go into the separation with the cold people. Cause now everybody talk. No, go, and they got chill bump. They're still feeling. I mean, it things you start looking at, you have to suffer. And you know what they're coming and looking at? Just think about this. And I know I said it him, but think about it. Really, you can go outside and set, and you can be in the warmer part, but understand what they actually are the people. They represent something. They represent. How many of y'all desire to be in here? Can y'all see their hands? Y'all get up, y'all what y'all saying? Those are the people they said they desire to be in here, but you ain't gonna believe it. But because of the Torah, that's what they call prevent. That's called prevent. That's that means they've been, can we see what prevent mean, please? They're prevented. Look, y'all can see out there. And they can say, you know what that symbolizes? It's a great gulf between us. They're being prevented. See, what they represent, having a desire but can't. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine that? A lot of us forgot what state we were in. I desired to be here years ago to train and I was prevented because of habits, because of things I did of myself. Now, these things they've done, they're not of themselves. This is one of the things that came through at dawn. It came, what we say, over, around, through. Man, y'all help me out. Y'all are sharp. It came through. And because it came through, it left them victimized. Although we here, we're still victims. Until you become a recipient of the Ruach HaKodesh, you really ain't removed. What they represent is symbolism. But a lot of us on the internet camera here, you're in that estate. Go figure. Let's see. What we said, prevent. Keep from happening, or kind of like when they put that stone in front of the Kubar. What was that for?
Prevent.
Probably keep the wind, because that wind get bad in the wintertime over there. They were trying to make sure he didn't get up. So it was put there to prevent. You ain't gonna believe it. There's a stone blocking you from getting in. He told you it was a stone of and stumbling. And it was a rock, it was a stumbling. You know what happens when you stumble? You gotta try to get up. That's what the tour is to you. You crying about they cry every time they watch what the movie Jesus Wept. What's the name of that movie?
Passion
Gone
Christ.
With the Wind. What the one they got for the one that boy the Mexican made?
Passion of Christ.
Past the Passion?
Passion of Christ.
I never watched it. So I seen Snow White and the Seven Doves. So I wasn't interested in that. So now you start looking at how this worked. That stone represented preventing. Y'all got it? From arising or happening. That's what you're supposed to do when you come back. Matter of fact, Shaul said he was going to speak to you a hidden truth. They call it a mystery. A hidden truth. That we shall all sleep and we shall not, what will go to people getting up? Prevent them. You can't stop them from arising. But there is a stone that will keep you from arising because it's an offense to you. And you stumbled at it. And you stumbled that you could fall. Now, it's not bad if you fall because he able to get you up, but then some of us fall to no remedy. What happened when a remedy would be a cure for something, okay? There's no remedy for certain action that you do. Like he said, you take my shit in vain. He said, I won't. He said, listen, man, I hold that guilt on him, man. I can't get that. He said, some stuff I ain't gonna let go now. He said, I ain't doing that. He said, you take my shim in your, he said, listen, he said, man, I hold a man guilty for that stuff. So there's some things that a remedy. Like when he told him he threw and he wound up piercing them, he told him, listen, man, he said, your bruise is incurable. I ain't even gonna lie to you. They telling me, man, what I'm gonna do? They trying to say, I'm gonna start giving me some weights and doing some curls, some jumping jack. He said, it's incurable. He said, there's no remedy. And they said, you ain't got nothing I can take. What about the fig leaves or something? He said, and you don't have no healing medicine. You know what kind of state Yehuda had to look at what it was at? That you don't have everybody thinking, well, quick, tell me what I need to do, what I need to stop eating, what I need to start eating. He said, there ain't no remedy. That means all I can do is just sit here and count like them. If there ain't no remedy, I mean, then what is it? He said, and then he told, and it's gonna get grievous. It's gonna get worse than what it is now. See, we just took a lot of stuff for granted. We took a lot of stuff for granted. A lot of things when it was at our, we had not excess, but access. We let the door close on us. That's why I said the day when you hear my voice, what do you want to do? Oh. He said, don't do that. Don't close the door on me when you hear it. Don't do that because I'll close it on you. So it's so imperative that we really sit down, really start examining really start weighing everything. That's what they did. Like when they brought in the offering, they had to examine it. When they had things in the house, they had to weigh it. You remember that? Think when they went in their cabinet, they had to make sure the flour, the salt, everything else all had the same balance. Would I go through that with the rest of the things in my house? My wife and my kids? Your husband? When we go through and make sure all those things are balanced? Oh, just stay in the cabinets. Go figure. You got to start examining everything. So you can, what was you supposed to do with your eyes? See. So you can see whether you had an now, that you don't stagger. So you can see if you stagger. When certain things come, your knees buckle. Certain things come that throw you off. So you can see whether you're in the now. Because when you see, that's what you take. To know something. Knowledge, take, not receive. You take knowledge. That's the permanent. I'm taking it. Because I can grasp that, so I'm gonna take it. You know what I'm saying? Hello, that's what they did when they sat at the table. He took the bread. What he told them? Let me give it to you. Take it. So that's what you got to do. You're supposed to take the eyes, the you're supposed to take knowledge. You're supposed to know appearance. That's what the is. There's so much that happens. He told you the eye is the light of the body. That's how your body works. It takes this light and it bends it and recreates structure to get shapes and figures and color. Am I? Well, you're going to have me sound like I know something. Go figure. So he said, I'd be right. So that's now, you got to figure. So you're supposed to take your eye and take the light. Even people don't realize, they don't know that darkness is a light. So now you're supposed to take it in appearance and realize certain behaviors. I'm telling you, certain contrast. It's a lot of things you're supposed to configure with your eye, but you missed it. Y'all miss a lot of stuff. You miss a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff you miss, and you had to ask yourself, what else do you miss? Because a lot of these things put you to sleep. So you don't pay attention. When I say put, not physically, but you mentally, spiritually, you are asleep to things, and they get you customary to certain things. They just ease in certain things. You looking at, forget that, man, I'm watching that stuff, don't bother me, I'm looking at the rest of this. And then you see it out here happening, guess what? Man, forget that, I ain't worried about that jump, man, keep going, because I had to play you with the TV. Because they know. Why y'all think, listen, TVs went from him, from that wall to this wall, projectors. Because guess what they do to your eye? The eye opens more, so I get more into the body. See, these are entry points. Entry points, the eye, the ear, the mouth. These are entry points. And through here, I can destroy you. You keep there's no white man just walking around just shooting, but every now and then they'll show you maybe shooting police, little something. I show you more people dying from this television. I show you more people dying from information. I got a book that said my people are destroyed for some lack of some things. And it didn't say bullets, simplicity. It didn't say about the overruns of bullets and guns. It said lack of knowledge. That's how you're dying. But you know, it's the guns. We need more gun lobby. We need more laws. No, he said you need more intelligence. See, if you're dying from lack of knowledge, what you need to do to live? That's why I'm gonna give you raw. They're gonna feed you with what? This is what you gotta take because of the results. Because of the outcome, you need to be fed. You know what I'm saying? So we give you longer life so we can try to get you repaired until you can get out the door. Okay? We gotta get you back through an entry point. This making sense to y'all? Whew, it's a lot, ain't it? Oh, it's a lot. It's a lot. But we can do this. We can do this. We just gotta recognize what's our state. Okay? That's all we gotta do. We just gotta recognize our state. So we looked at preventing is to keep something from happening. So we back over here at 5 and 12 of the book of Romans. We try to move on. For whatever reason, we had to come over here. So therefore, when through one ish, sin came into the Alarm, and moot, death, that was the results, the outcome of kata, of doing what? Kata. Missing the mark. Now, we know this is right. Only reason why, missing the mark. I'm sorry. That be the two. That's the mark. That was the mark. We missed the mark. This is part of your Alaph, they understood missing the mark. They knew what the mark was. Sometimes they go shoot, they'll have, you know what I'm saying? Certain people that hit it, they'll call them some kind of mark, some kind of marksman. That's what they'll call them? You ain't gonna believe it. We're gonna have to become marksmen. because you're missing. So typically you tell them just keep shooting, or they need to be trained, instructed, taught. That's kind of what Yahuwah thinking the same thing. You're going to probably need to be taught so you can stop missing the mark. That's the whole purpose of us being here, so we can stop missing the mark. See, where they're at, again, this is a representation of where a lot of us are on that screen, in him, on YouTube. You're on the outside. He don't believe it. He got a description for you. He said, the those that I doubt. He said, they cutie pies and lovely bunches. He said, they dogs. They're people that work sorcery. And they're whoremongers. And they love everything that make it a kazal. That's why I tell you, certain shows, certain things, you can't watch it, because these people make a lie, and you got to be careful about what you're doing. You love that song. I love, what the thing is?
Lucy.
Music, not all kind. What kind it is? Any kind. He said, yeah, you outside. You outside. See, you get caught. You get caught. He told you where it go, from his head to my toes. He look at, see, a lot of stuff, they catch you all the time. And you get to going and you get to moving, you got to pay attention. They working you. Any kind, it don't make no difference. That's how you get caught. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a lover, you know what I'm saying, of sounds, except for the sound that he makes. That's how they get you, wavelength, pattern, frequency. They get you every time, and you miss it. That's why a lot of stuff I'm not interested in listening to it. I don't be, but I know where everybody at. Everybody's in a different place. I had to leave you where you at. I said, well, that's where they at. Because I'm telling you, it's a technique to what you do. You just miss it. You just worry about voicing out something. It's a technique. That's why Yahuwah is so effective at what he do. Eventually, he take them out. All their greats, eventually you fall. You ain't going to believe it. He remained the same. He's still on high. Right. He's still on high. People you love been gone. Antiquated. The man still him. He's out with him before they got here, and I'm here when they gone. Right. I'm still on top, still number one. Check on the chart every time. He's still number one. Every time he's still number one. But you kind of get caught up in other things because you look at feelings, emotion, other stuff you got going on. You ain't looking at premise. You ain't looking at pattern. You ain't looking at purpose. Can we see what purpose means, please? He's looking at this word. I apologize if I'm something dumb. I don't know what these words mean. I don't know why. Man, why don't y'all get like a basket and raise up some money and go one of them schools and where I can cipher and know what meanings of words mean. Purpose. Oh, let's see what purpose means. How about the reason? The reason that we're here. I said the reason for which something is or created or for which something, wow. And you're a mannequin. You were made to put on clothes. Does that make sense? Purpose. See, when you understand your purpose, then you kind of don't let people sway you. See, this is what people miss with Yahusha. You know why he didn't get moved? He understand purpose. He understood the reason for which what happened to him was done. He realized the reason for why he was created, or for which something and why he existed. You ain't gonna believe it. You don't know why. I don't know, because God needs somebody stupid. See? See that? Go, you and Forrest Gump and Bubba Gump. See, this is why most people get off, because they don't understand the reason why. This is why you faint. This is why you fall. You don't know why you exist. You don't know why you exist? You don't know the reason or purpose for why things happen? Why wouldn't you get off? Why wouldn't you quit? Why wouldn't you faint? See, Shaul told them in the 12, you have to go get the first chapter of the book of Philippians and around about 11 to 12. He said, I will not have you, what was that, very intelligent, ignorant, which would be void of information, that the things which have happened to me have fallen out rather for furtherance. Guess what? This got it to go even more. This caused it to go out even more, give it more distance. Sometimes people don't realize in pitching and throwing, the way a quarterback throw, either way sometimes you might throw. You really watch how the hand throw, because he's looking at it for distance. He throw a short pass and not the same way he's gonna throw for a long pass. But he's not doing that. He realizes there's a certain way you gotta throw for distance. There's a certain way you gotta throw it it's faster because you're trying to make a short run, because you got somebody close coverage. I got a man, he got double coverage. I'm not putting that straight. I got to make sure, listen, these folks don't know this. I don't even play, I tell you the truth. For a receiver, you can stop my mouth receiver if I'm wrong. They throw in a window. They throw in a window. If he hits exact where he hit him, They teach them to throw for window. Am I telling? No, they teach them to throw for, when you play in the backyard, you're throwing for a man. Am I correct?
That's
You can
right.
stop me.
That's right.
You teach them windows. He needs to be here. Like I said, because we train for this. He know where he's supposed to be. I put the ball hit. They said, woo, cold I hit that nigga. Man, he dropped down there. That nigga was where he's supposed to be. Oh, sometimes you'll see Pat, you say, what was he throwing at? He's stupid. Because you don't know. He was throwing for a window. The receiver missed it. But you done killed the quarterback. Quarterback, the dumbest, stupidest thing you ever seen. A retard. Stevie Wonder could have thrown that ball. It wouldn't have went down. Because Stevie Wonder could not hit no window. He hit them keys on that keyboard and that piano. He not hitting that receiver. Okay? I know y'all think he can see. I'm not impressed. So now, this is what we look at now for us. There is a window of opportunity. You ain't gonna believe it. Like that receiver who not where he's supposed to be, you gonna miss it. That's why you gotta know the play. Hello? Come on. Listen, on the day of Ukal Shabuah, that's what they call Pentecost. They were all, what were they supposed to be? They were scrambling. They were scrambling. Everybody would cross the field. Where they was? One place. You ain't gonna believe it. One place. And suddenly there came a sound as a rushing mighty wind, and it filled where they would sit. It was a window, and they were there. Listen, it hit. It was there. Everything time. You ain't gonna know why you missed it. You look at them out. How they got it? Interception. Somebody done picked it up. That be the Gentiles, because you weren't there. You know, some people, it's bad. Somebody else watching you. Listen, man, Curry, you're watching this. He watching. He know. He's watching you. He watching his quarterback. He watching your eyes. You got to learn how to fake people with your eyes, too. A lot of times, how a lot of these quarterbacks, these receivers get jammed up. They're watching your eyes. Listen, he ain't looking for the ball. I'm watching your eyes. I'm watching you. I'm watching you do the number him. I'm watching you. That's why I already know, get my hands up, because I mess around, be wanting about. You might fake me out. So I'm going to watch you. I'm watching your eyes. Am I making this up? Anybody play safe? Do I know what I'm talking about? You sure? They don't know I know a lot more than what they think. But you don't need to know that, because I know very little. I know a little something about everything. Hello? See, when Yahusha had got up, after they didn't know who he was, he had got up and he went to the city with them, and they had told him, come here for a minute, and you try to get me, if you would, try to get me to stay where you at, right? But say I made my eyes, I would go further. They paid attention to his eyes. They said he wasn't going that way. They were looking at his eye. They said he looked like he was going somewhere else. His eye was set to go somewhere else. That's what you got to do when you covering a man. See, Yahusha was a receiver. He told you, he told you he received it of the Father, didn't he? That make him a receiver. Well, I'm a cover man. Let me borrow for a second. I'm a cover man. I got to pay attention to his eyes. I'm watching them eyes. I'm watching his eyes. You done got stuck. You trying to watch your feet. You trying to watch something, it may sense, Chris?
Yes, sir.
It's a lot of stuff. Watch it like that. Come on, buddy. You get another check. Malcolm, do the honor. Do the honor. You know what he said? He said, preacher, finally getting the raw hockey. Holy. Come on, Malcolm. Malcolm, he need another check. So then, with that being said, these are the things that we're set back and we're trying to find out where the defects came in our armor. Where did we fall short? Did you eat yourself one time? Yes, sir. Oh, that's so beautiful. I like working with you. Look at that. That's the coolest check man I ever seen right now. So these are the things that we're trying to look at now. We're trying to come back and fix and repair these things, okay? So where we at now? So we got purpose. What's purpose again? Can I can't read it for me. What is purpose? See that? And you got a purpose. And you didn't even know why you existed. What was the purpose? You know how easy it is? Why do you think people commit suicide? Because they don't see the reason. I feel like I don't have no purpose. Why do you think people give up on the plan of salvation? I don't see the reason. I don't feel like it's a purpose. So people create their own religions. They have their own ideology about it. Or in order to obtain Yahuwah, we're trying to come back and we're trying to get this exactly the way he formatted it to be. You know what I'm saying? The format that he laid down for it. That's what we're trying to make sure we get. So now he let us know the entry point of how it came. And it's important to know how you got something. Like sometimes you go to the doctor, we talked about before, you fill out these charts, health, medical, want your information, date of birth. I'd be like this. I tell them, I said, fill this stuff out. If I'm going, wait, what you need to know all that for? Parent, grandparent, maternal grand, what illness they had, because we're trying to find out, how did you get it? That's why we need to go back and learn about it. This is our paternal great father. So it's important to find out that effect, the effect that you have, there's a cause to it. And that cause come back through and you find out this is kind of innate. It's, you know what I'm saying, inherited, kind of just in you. So now we're trying to go back and look at what can we do. Sometimes there are things you can do to alter. Y'all got it? Not the writings, but we can alter some of the outcomes. Sometimes you know that your whole family is diabetic. It's a good chance you're pre-diabetic. So there are things you can start doing now to keep. You say, man, I already know. Cause man, my great-granddad hear about. So I already know I'm gonna be one, man. I mean, it is what it is, and that's the same thing. I know because my parents weren't right and they died of sin. I know I'm gonna burn. I'm gonna go too. So that's what I'm gonna keep doing. That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Got it? So we're trying to prolong so we can try to alter. All right, we're trying to make changes. Y'all got it? We're trying to modify. And I altering what we're doing, not the writing, but you can modify. That's amazing. You know, sometimes they got surgery now. When you use a scalpel, they call that thing some kind of light thing. What that thing called? Laser. So intelligent. The laser. So that laser can be used. It can burn it out. That's what we're trying to do too. See that when he sat them down? You know when that rock sat on them, you know what it was like? Like a laser. Not like a scalpel. So it sat like fire. Sometimes a laser can be hot. Y'all got it. And you know what it can be used for? Purifying. Form of purifying. Immersion, water, with fire, all these are purifying. This is for purifying. Hello? To get rid of what we say, tuma, the impurities. Y'all got it? So then we start learning, that's the purpose of obedience. That's purifying. Okay? So we're trying to get into the purifying. We're trying to transition from there to here when he comes. Got it? Now, this is all representative, but we're trying to physically transfer into. And what we got to do is get that wall torn down. What we'll call that when it's blocking out one side or the other, there's a petition and we want to get something changed. You write one up and we say, you know what? I don't like the government. I don't like the system. I don't like how things are done. I don't like this law. So we will do what?
Petition.
That's what we're going to do. We're going to petition. See, these are some of your rights. You have the right to petition, right? So that's the purpose of it. We want to try to get the petition so we can break down the wall. Hello? That's all right with y'all? Goodness. I thought I was teaching. So anyway, let's go ahead. But the Adon said to him, go, what happened?
For he is a chosen vessel unto me.
For he is a chosen vessel unto me.
To bear my shem before the Goyim.
What you tripping to do with a vessel? Put things in it, fill it up. You ain't gonna believe it. You're a vessel. Why are you empty? Can we see what a vessel is, please? Used to transport something. It's cute. Think about it. You call them a vessel. Isn't that right? So if we don't understand anything there, how we know? So then we're going to miss the purpose. So now let's look at some things. Since we're talking, purpose, reasoning, cause, effect, isn't that right? Outcome, isn't that results? None of this important to us? Yes, sir. Let's see, vessel, a ship or a large boat. That's all we got for it. Number 2. A hollow container, especially one used to hold liquids such as a bowl or a cask. So let's look at that. Let me see. How about, let me see, the last day. And I tried to see with the third one or the first. That last day, that great Yom of the Muhar, Yahusha stood, said, if any each thirst, what do he want to do?
Come unto me.
Come in and do what? And drink. So what would that make them? A vessel to transport whole liquid. Then he told us he was talking about the Ruach HaKodesh. So they were vessels used to contain, to hold, to transport. That's what he just found out he was used for. That's why you need to go, because Ananias ain't stupid. I don't just be going nowhere because folks said it. He said, well, I want you to go. Why? Because he's a vessel. He's going to be used to transport liquids for me, to contain something. So you didn't realize why you were here. See, so that would be the reason. That would be the reason. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's see how that work out. Come on. Go ahead.
and Malachim, and before the Beni.
See, but the Adon said to him, go, for he is a chosen vessel unto me. What's use elect? To bear. See that? The care. Can we see what bear is? Not the one with the fur rider behind. No, you put the, oh, you put none? Okay, yeah. Yeah, you would that bear. Yeah, no. Now you would be right with that one. Because I think I'm going to come up with the other bear, wouldn't it? We'll see the other one too. Oh, woo. Naked, nude. Yeah, we can get out of that one quick. Without covering. Actually, no, I wouldn't use that one. Bare wrists without covering, clothing naked, nude, bare legs without. Okay. So we know that bear gonna be carrying. A person part by clothing covered without addition, based on simple and cover part. So I want to use that one. Let's go ahead and see how they use the B-E-A-R. Carry the weight of support. Okay? So he would use to carry the weight of support. Okay? That's crazy, ain't it? How about come to me, all you that burden heavy laden, and I'll give you, what was it?
Rest.
Take my what upon you?
Yoke.
Yoke upon you and do what? Learn of me. Why? My yoke is easy and my what? Burdens are light. So I could take that. So he was sent so he can bear. So he could carry. What do you think that means when a person comes and they understand how their life has worked out for a far better purpose, for salvation, they obtain salvation? You don't think that take a load of weight off of them? So guess what he was chosen for? To bear the weight. That's what he was chosen for. Just like we look at the olive. The first one we find that Yahusha being the olive, representing the father of the olive. We look at what carries, strength, defend, all that. That's what he can't do. I came to take the weight off. Why do you think man start using it? Man start using the ox. Why man start using the mule? Because he was taking the weight off. Put the burden on something else. That's what it was. I want to take the load off. That was folks sometimes in the country tell you, sit down a spell. Take the load off. They would tell you to sit down and rest. Y'all know, most of y'all ain't from the country. Y'all ever heard people say that? They just said take the load off. Because look, you just stand up. So you got something on you. If you sit down, see, you can take the load off. That's what Yahushua was trying to get you to do. Why do you think he told you when he established in Malkut that you were going to be able to stand up in the Malkut? Opposite, that's all it was, sit down. So you can take the load off. Yeah. Hello? Yes, sir. Make sense? Yes, sir. That be all Tahalym to Yahuwah. So that's what we're trying to do. Let's go ahead. So now we understand that he's going to bear. Let's see what he's going to do. What he going to bear?
To bear my Shem before the Goyim.
That's right. That means he's going to suffer. So you need to know both ends. So now he just told you he's going to bear my name. And what his name went with. When we learned about his name really, when we saw it physically written in form, where was he at exactly? On the two. How he got there? To live?
Moot.
He was suffering. He said he's going to have to carry that weight too. See, the weight comes off when you get the information you know how to live. It is lighter than the weight you had because his weight come with life. The weight you had that you think was lighter, which is actually heavy, it come with death. So you had a whole lot more than you did when you was in the world. I look like all hell done broke out which is a Greek word. Actually, it's nothing to what you're thinking. This is some Greeks actually fabricate. We know Sheol, okay? So now when you look at these things, it's better when you look at what you suffer for him because we look at it's going to get you through an entry point. See, the way you were going, there's no exit to it. That's why you got to go down and you got to burn because there's not a way out. Okay. Let's say when the rich man, when he moved, remember, in Lazarus, and he wanted him to come down again, he tried to tell him he couldn't come back because there's not an entry point where you went. See what I'm saying? There has been an exit. There's no exit point. That's only entry. So when you get the show, there's no way to come back out. See, y'all need to pay attention to your ins and outs. Sometimes people walk in some rooms, some people, why? They say, I don't like their place. Why? They're saying because there ain't but one way out. You know what I'm saying? I don't like it. It's like, you know, they say, I got to pay attention to my entries and my exits. Some people pay attention where they sit. They say, I don't sit with my back to the door. I need to see what's coming at me. Y'all know what? And that's how you need to be. That's how they were when Yahushua came. They were watching. See, he was an entry point. That's why the folk that sat down, they watched him. They were looking at the entry points. Hello? They knew they were him. This is how we getting out. You don't pay attention though. You got too many things that clock. That's why I told you we got to clean up your diet. We got to clean up situations, issues you got, because they'll keep you'll miss your entry points. Mm-hmm. Hello? Okay, it's just like sometimes for boxing, you got to weigh in. So boxers look at what they got to eat the whole time, because it closer to get to the mat, you got to get more and more intense. Because you know what I'm saying, the weigh in, you miss that weight, man, you cancel that match. Coming at you 30 pounds over, talking about, I'm ready to fight. Man, you ain't fighting nobody tonight, get out of here. They're not going to look 10 pounds over. They still let you fight? Yeah, 15, 20, 50. That's right, you did. So get what's going to happen with a lot of people. You were conscious, then you lost conscious of what you were doing, and now you done lost. When Yahuwah come back, he done told about bounce. He going to weigh us in. So you going to mess around. All these you got to consider. That's why I try to get us more discipline on things and maintaining a certain stat. These are natural things I'm teaching, but they all conducive to helping you to understand ruach how things work. Y'all got it. If you can't keep a discipline here, there's no way you can keep a discipline to translate over to ruach. They don't even realize that, and they be thinking, preacher always trying to judge somebody off the natural. Well, I can't see your spirit. I can see that natural, though.
That's right.
That natural, real disobedient. I know you ain't going nowhere. So that I'm trying to tell, they be telling, he don't know judge nothing till Yahuwah come back. I'm telling, like I told Mark, we ain't got to wait that long. We ain't got to wait that long. I know, no, I'll tell you right now, no, it is not going to happen. So that's why we got to look at, we got to look at cleaning this stuff up and get a better idea. So come on, finish this up.
To bear my shem before the Goyim and Malakim and before the Banim of Yasharal. For I shall show him how much he has to suffer because of my shem.
So what's he getting ready to do? He was going to teach him. See, everything that Shaul was going to go through, you think he was going to literally come down and pull a film strip and show him? No. Watch what you're getting ready to go through, because the eye is an observer. Y'all got it? You can be taught through sight, through hearing, okay? So now he's going to see things and realize this is going to show him. He's going to be learning through the things. These are the exercises I'm going to give him, so he's going to learn how to suffer for my name and look at the benefits to it. He's going to look at what goes with it. You got to remember, he was a persecutor of it. He's going to tell you that later in his writing. He said, I was a persecutor of this. But now he became a defender. So now we're going to go back and we got to look at the estate, okay? Not what's on, we're going to get the estate. What form was he in? How did he see things? How did he recognize things? What did he know? Because this makes a difference. You need to look at the format, how you see things. Certain things is how it's formatted. Makes a difference of a person's perception, okay? So let's look at the format where he was in, okay? Come on.
So Canaan Yah departed and went into the Beth, and after laying his hands on him, said, Alah Shamuth,
Brother Shaul,
the Adon Yahusha, who appeared to you on the road by which you were coming, he has shalak me, so that you may regain your
Hold yourself, hold right there. Now, this only made purpose for a reason. So we're looking at purpose again. Remember, he was knocked off of his beast, okay? He was knocked off his beast. He told him to go down the straight street. And he told him what was going to happen and what's going to happen. You got to remember who he was dealing with. He was dealing with a man that knows Torah. So right now, this man is in his mind based off of what he knows. It's only natural to sound realize he's right now, and he's definitely, it's complexity to him. I know what I saw, I know what I heard, and I seen, but I also know law. I also know law. I also know law. This only happened one time. So now this man coming to him would be what we would call confirmation. Hello? Sometimes the bank might tell you send over a wire transform or some deposit, and you might get that paper because this is confirmation. The machine might have said or whatever, tell you, you need confirmation. This is confirmation that I know it's from Yahuwah, because it's Torah, okay? Listen.
Has shalak me, so that you may regain your and be filled with the Ruach HaKadosh.
You ain't gonna believe it. See, this ties into what you learned lately, what you didn't pay attention to. For judgment I came in the world, that they that see might not see, and they that see, they that don't see will see, they that do see might not see. See, he was seeing in his own way, so he had to blind him so he can open his eyes to give him sight. Come on, it only makes sense. It's right. It's only happening because of a couple of things you got to look at. Whatever written aforetime, what was it written for? I will learn that we through comfort of the, that we through what? Patience. Not giving up. He might have felt like giving up. And then here's Nakum. Now he got Tifa. He could have blinded me. Think about it. When I learned he said I came to blind them that see, he might have blinded me so I never see again. Right. So now you come back, I blinded you so now I can come give you sight. You don't give sight to the sin. Right. You give sight to the blind. Right. See, they didn't even know that. Right. You don't even know it. That's why he tried to tell people couldn't help him, because you already see. That's why he said, therefore your sin remains. I know this is simple for y'all. I apologize, because you're much too intelligent. But it's a reason why. Believe it or not, he got to have a reason why. Correct?
Yes.
So let's look at a couple of these things, because we're sitting in a bad situation. And I haven't forgot, because Yahuwah, I know y'all might think that Yahuwah may have forgot. That was Zaun said. He said, I haven't forgot. They might forget. He said, I haven't forgot. He said, it's inscribed upon the palm of my hand. Okay? The man scripts. He scripts. He said, it's written on the palm of my hand. You see something, I know people, you said, they just wrote that on their hand. They be like, oh, I just script. Okay? So it's important to pay attention. Let's move quick. 21, Yaquara. 21, 10, 12, 11, 14, 15. Let's see, we'll play with it. How about that? Yaquara. 15, jump down 15. Yaquara, they call it Leviticus for those that home watching. Let's see if that's 21:19. Yes, sir.
I'm cold, Bridget.
Who you are?
I'm cold.
I'm looking at that door for it freezing in y'all room?
Yes.
All right, turn on one of them. Turn on one of them. That's tight. I said a lot of folks headed that doors in there. Turn on one of them before they can't burn me up. Y'all, a lot of y'all cold.
Yes.
Anywho, they need some help. Y'all need to go get high blood pressure or something. Come on back now. Now my blood pressure actually been pretty good. I was 127. I'm 127 over 79 today, so I'm in. No, I believe it. So I know it ain't the blood pressure. I know blood pressure. Blood pressure give me problems. I know when it's hot. Yeah, it's warm in here. I know y'all just need to get some iron. Maybe let's just shoot you somewhere right quick. Put that, raise that iron up. All right, listen here. 21:19, Yaquara, they call Leviticus. Listen.
Or in each in whom there is a broken foot or broken hand.
That's 19? Ooh.
Yes, sir.
17, let me see.
Yes, sir.
Hang on, listen.
Speak to Aharun, saying,
Look at Aharun.
any each of your offspring throughout their Tuladath, in whom he has a blemish.
Y'all hear? Listen to that. Any each throughout your Tuladav, this out your generations. Y'all hear how far this go? He talking to Aharun, the any each throughout his generation.
Yes, sir.
That's anybody that come up. That's the people that gonna proceed from him.
That's right.
Any of them that come. Listen.
In whom he has a blemish shall not approach to offer the
Y'all hear?
lakam of his all.
Y'all hear this? Any ish that has a blemish, any blemish, he can't even approach the offer. Listen.
For any ish who has a blemish shall not approach, a blind ish or a lame, or he who has a disfigured.
Hold on, stop for a second. Or who back me up again? Or?
A blind ish.
Yahusha didn't meet nobody that was blind. How long was he blind?
From his birth.
So if Aharun has anybody that come through his Tuladath that's blind, is that something that's their fault?
No.
That's why Yahushua told us that man was not blind because of any fault of his or his parents. This is what Yahuwah had Mushah to let them know. See, this is what people got to get to understand. This is your estate. He's already declared, he put a declaration, this is it. Any east, I don't care who that come out through your Tuladath, if they have a blemish, these are your blemishes. If you're blind. What else?
Or a lame.
Or if you lame. I ain't talking about you sit around, so we trying to do something, you doing, hey girl, hey! That too, you can't make. I'm declaring out. You ain't coming here. I'm gonna take these guys out. You can't talk to no girl. You a lame. I'm gonna get you out of here. They ain't got no business in here, Dave. I'm tired of it. You better get you a script. Start running. Yeah, you out of here. You lame. Come on, I got book for him. Come on.
Or he.
In the book of Henry. Listen.
Or he who has a disfigured pani or any
y'all hear
deformed
that?
limb.
If you have a disfigured face,
or any deformed limb.
Hold on, or any deformed limb. Any deformed, what limb did it exclude? Any deformed limb. Any. How much control you got of that? Listen.
Or an ish in whom there is a broken foot or broken hand.
Just think about this. You have a car wreck, ain't even driving. You a passenger. Somebody say here, you just broke your foot. You can't even come in here. That's a disfigurement. That's a blemish. That's a blemish. See, the reason why we're looking at this and we're going down, we're looking at this, because we got to go back and look at how these people came through. We took this for granted. My God can do all things in Jesus' name, just running and saying stuff. We had no idea what we were saying and what we were doing. This man just told him to speak to him through his tool of dog. What is his tool of dog?
Generations.
That's all the generations that come through him. If there's any disfigurement of face, any limb, why y'all think when Yahusha on the tomb that nothing can be broken? Because he could not offer. That way you cannot offer. That's the part they had to look at with it. No disfigurement. How much control do you have on your birth? How much we're taking for granted? If we look a certain way, if we feel like we're attractive, if we feel like we're mean, if we feel like we're ugly, if we feel like you short, you feel like you tall, you feel like whatever it is, one arm a little longer than the other, what control you have over that? We got to stick with the book. You know, he's trying to teach us election.
That's right.
See,
That's right.
You don't understand how election look. Now, I mean, you don't understand how elections work. Can we look up the word election, please? Again, I apologize for not knowing what words mean. I would try to, no, I ain't gonna try to do that. I got nothing to remember. A formal and organized
Choice.
Sometimes we think about election, oh, it's just a choice. No. It's a formal and it's organized choice by vote of a person for a political office or other
Position.
You ain't gonna believe it. He organized choosing you. Some people just walk in a booth blind and pick some. He said, no, this was organized. It was strategized. When I told you I chose Yaquara and I harbored him and I hated Sue, it was organized. It wasn't until later till Nakum came, Constellation came and told her why. He said the hidden things, well, he let you know about the hidden thing. He said exactly why I hated Sue. He said I hated him because when Yaquara was taken, he watched. It was organized. It was strategized. You being here was organized. It was organized to put them out there. It was organized according to election. But you don't understand things. A lot of these words, we ain't stupid. We know them to a degree. But really understand the word in its whole totality, a lot of times we don't. We don't understand. Not organized. I didn't know that. I just figured who he chose. No, it's a strategic move. Just like with election, people, it's strategic. Let me tell you what politicians do. There will never be a president that will encircle all 50 states. A president will move to states by electoral votes. That's the goal. Your number is like 276. So I started looking at what states I need Texas. If I'm Republican, I know I got Texas. I got to work Florida. I'm gonna hit my states I know these are heavy Republican. I don't have to put a lot. I'll show my face to build my base, but I got to get to what they call swing states. Y'all got it? You got to get to what they call swing states, okay? These are states that can go tilt either way, okay? Pennsylvania, swing state. They'll mess you up. A lot of Michigan, swing state. North Carolina, they can go Republican, swing state. Georgia now, you start looking heavy better now. You're a Democrat, this is a Republican state, but they can almost tilt and they'll swing on you. So these are states you gotta make sure you kind of play the goal. Y'all got it? So it's strategic. You have to organize. You know anything about politics, Chris?
You're exactly right.
Am I wrong?
We're spot on.
We talked about this?
No, sir.
Come on, Chris. Carrie. You know what's coming, Carrie. He looking around like, what, yeah. Oh, you understand? I thought, man, feeling right on my eye for a minute. That man got so many checks, he got the coups of him. He just put vowel points on his check. That, you had to be Hebraic to understand. That one of them Hebraic jokes. No, but listen.
Or a hunchback, or a dwarf.
You heard that, humpback? They gonna try to get that humpback. I remember seeing people when I was a little kid. I had seen, you'll see older people, you will see them, mostly white for whatever reason, I remember. I don't know, I might have seen a couple of blacks. Anybody remember what race of people? Most of them I've seen were white. They would have that hump. You know, I hadn't seen about in years now, I remember. They would have that hump on their back, they'd be walking. I was just skipping. So, you look, I just be like, you're a kid, you just like, it's scary. But think of how much control they have of that. No control. But see, think about it. How are we going to understand election unless we know this? This is according to election. Yahusha told us, he said, you don't have authority to add 1 inch to your stature. He said, not one of you can add 1 inch to yourself. To let them know this is according to election. It was according to election. It's never been us. So many times we take a lot for granted. And we assume that things are given us. He let us know, no, I give you all these different, I'll call them formalities, or different types of people. So you just realize when you see people, none of these people pick themselves or pick their condition, situation. These are situations he gives, he said, according to election. What you got? 4 and 11. Alah Shamuth, they call it Exodus. Excuse me. That car drive went the wrong way. You get old, boy, and look like everything you get, it go the wrong way. My old mule out there, she cold. She came in there trying to tempt me this morning. I said, you know what? This is a perfect time. You can teach your brothers about intimacy where you just hold each other and don't do nothing. I said, don't poke the bear. I told the flat, I said, why you say that? I said, don't poke the bear. No, you just let it just hold it. I said, listen, when you go to the zoo, they have don't feed the animals.
Right.
I said, for a reason.
That's right.
I said, don't be poking the bear.
That's right.
So I'm not going to teach my Akeem that lame doctrine. I'm not telling you time to teach about no hold each other. I know. I'm not interested. I better cast it down. Listen.
Yahuwah said to him, who has made Adam's paw?
Back me up to 9 right quick.
Yes, sir.
Listen.
It shall come to pass, if they shall not amon even these 2 ots, and shall not shama to your call, then you shall take of the mayim of the nahar, and pour it on the dry adamah, and the mayim shall be, which you take from the nahar, shall become dam on the dry adamah.
Y'all see what happened? You ain't gonna believe it. That's what they did to Yahushua when they pierced him in the side. That was one of your eyes. Remember what came out running out? It was blood but when it hit the ground, it was dung. So when it poured on the ground, it couldn't look like water, it had to look like dung. But he told you what came out because this was one of the eyes. See, you missed that too when they told you what came running out. It's also symbolic to semen. Because both of these are in semen. How you think a child come with your blood type? Okay, come on.
Then Mushah said to Yahuwah, please, Adonai, I am not the Ish of Abarym, even from yesterday, even from the third yom, since you have spoken to your Abad, for I am slow of speech and slow of tongue.
Excuse me, and saying that, you know what people think sometimes and what you need to pay attention to? We're quick to believe that once I meet my Savior here, I'm saying not in the mouth, cool, but here, or once I get saved, my deformity, imperfections go away. He said, since the time I talked to you, and even that day, ain't nothing changed with my mouth.
That's right.
Sometimes we keep it. That's how I know I'm saved, because I don't stutter no more. He said, Mushah said, from the time yesterday to now, he said, I still speak the same way. Y'all got it? Listen.
Yahuwah said to him, who has made Adam's paw, or who makes him mute, or deaf, or seeing, or blind? Is it not I, Yahuwah?
He said if it was the government, he said it was the the immunization shot. What did it say about it?
Is it not I, Yahuwah?
See, we started to recognize something. You know, people transgression was seen through other people. Then we started kind of like what doctors do sometimes when they give you your report back for something and it's not actually what it is. What they call that? Misdiagnosed? Because he came back and he said, I did it. He said, I made your mouth. That's why I didn't change it. And you were more effective with that. How many times we heard about that stuttering after this? How about them letters we got where the line be, you know some of that? When they record, when they said what he said, it just declared us that nobody, you forget all about it.
That's
you ain't
right.
gonna believe it. He said that's how it worked. That's what he told Shaul in 2 Corinthians, the 12th chapter. He talked about how that too, how he besought Yahuwah because he was hidden thrice. And he told him, he said, my con is sufficient.
That's right.
He said, see, my strength made perfect in weakness. If I gave you that good broke conversation, you went, no doubt, they'd have looked at, why y'all think he take an ignorant man like me? Y'all, if I had some sense and some intelligence, y'all have thought it was me. So he worked better. Listen, I would like to go to one of them schools and get that paperwork, just to get it. I don't want to sit no classes. I'll go to lunch and pee, but I don't want to do no work. Then after that, they stand up. Hold my paper. But he said, you know what, my strength made perfect in weakness. He worked better this way. So a lot of times, people credit, this is what happened to a lot of people. A lot of things have been a credit to people because of their education, they'll miss certain things when they come down to the simplicity of Yahuwah. They'll put it on the grammar and so many other things they'll do, and they won't look at just how simplistic the way he is. They'll make it more complicated because of degrees and because how they've been, been set to do things and made things to look. They'll forget it's made to be simple. That's the only way people can do it. He told them write the kazoo, make it plain. Man, you gotta use all them big words. I don't even know what you said, but I just gotta assume what they say. No more assuming. You need to know. That's why, sir, I said, let's just look it up. You can't afford it. Your soul online. You need to keep guessing. We got one out this book talking that month, man. We're sure to hit word. What we done? What we done did, Bishop? We done guessing. That's what we were saying. Ain't no time to. I want to say I'm thinking. He said, no, we done guessing. Got it? So when we look it up and we know what it says, that helps to do what Daniel came to do. Elohim is judge. We want to make sure we dissolve all doubt. Okay? Come on, finish this up.
Now go, and I shall be with your paw, and shall teach you what you shall speak.
See that? That's what he told her. You heard he said, go, and I'm going to fix that mouth. He said, no, I'm still going to teach you. I'm still going to teach you. I'm going to be with your mouth. See, we got to keep getting out of thinking if this change will be better. Don't you think he know will be better? How effective? They still talking about Mushah today. And his stuttering don't even come up.
That's right.
They call the man the lawgiver.
That's right.
You can't, listen, him and the Torah are synonymous. I mean, they together. There's no way that you can't divert him. He gave it to us.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? He told us about Yahusha coming on the scene. What was going to happen, how he was going to be. Nobody. See, you'll let things be your hang up. Like y'all, you think you make your own deformity. You ain't even got one, you made one.
Yeah, that's right.
They don't even keep you from doing that. You just make up something, you're a sicko. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all weirdos. You just make up stuff. It ain't got no problem.
That's right.
It irritate me. You ain't got no problem.
That's right.
Who looking for a problem? Go bang your head on so I think I got a nut. Stop it. Just stop it. So we trying to do better.
Yes, sir.
Come on back to that 21st chapter right quick. Let's find out what we find. In that 21st chapter book of Yaquara, who are winning, we get a conclusion. I got people outside. I haven't forgot, because he hasn't forgot. Yaquara, 21. Where we left off, 14? 20? I'm sorry, 20. 21, 20. What he told us?
Or a hunchback.
A hunchback.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, humpback trying to step like that. Do what you can, man. Do what you can. Come on. Come on. Yeah, I got the juice. He got the hump too. No. But yeah, he was looking at all these things people can't change. Come on.
Or a dwarf.
A dwarf?
Or one who has a blemish in his own, or...
Y'all never seen people got something in their eye, like have a spot or something in their eye? I know you got one of them spots right there on it. A couple of people, I don't know if he used to, like some people have like a little, think about it, like you have, who can control that? Think about this. You know you ain't supposed to be in here. We're not supposed to be in here. Because he told us, let us offer up the sacrifice of praise. That is the what? Fruit. He said, I can't even take that from you. We got a deformity. He said, I sat here, I had to admit it, this is a deformity. I got to go out. This is a deformity. Y'all think I did this to myself? This would disqualify me from an offering. If you got I got a spot in your eye. Out. All us will be out. How many did it to ourselves? Some of the folk doing like this right here. This thing y'all see that? All of us. You know, they put people at. They sit here and look at. You say, you thinking, are you serious? He said, I can't take nothing from you. I'm like, I came to offer something to you, to give something to you. He said, I don't want it. He said, it's a defect. I don't even want it. That's tight. Yep. Those that got them, we got to step to the outside. Yeah, we got to step to the outside. Now, I'm going to have the teeth from the outside. Will that be all right with y'all? I got to be fair. Ain't that right? I got to have some deep. Y'all, I can still teach. You still put the camera on, I stand in the door. Can we do that? Let me finish what I got. This is the book. What we going to do? What we going to do? What we going to do? I'm going to be just wait. I tell you what. Let's be unfair. I stay and everybody go outside. Let's do that. Is that gonna be a just wait? That's a deformity. I'm in the same boat. So here we are. Yeah, they probably kill this side. They can hear me outside. But turn it down a little bit out here for us. That's what we gotta do. Right is right, ain't it?
That's right.
Or maybe I just stand there and we just say maybe he forgive. He just he don't worry about that. Then he got to worry about everything else he done said, though. We got to have just wait, right? So that's what we're looking at. What we at now? That tight. 20. I thought you was out here. You came out here playing to go back. If any of y'all got to pee, you better pee on yourself. You come out this door, we whipping you up, Joker. Go in there and come back all that. Bye, niggas. We all here together. Because we got to do what's right. You got one, too? He got one? Oh, he got one? What about him? He got one? He don't. See, think about this now. Here she goes. She coming out, and she had to bring her being. No, you don't bring him out. I just want to. Can they see him on the camera? Go to the camera there for he can see. You put him on something. Now here she come out here. Now look at this. Now think about this in the mosh pot. Now, here they both come up. She had a deformity. They had to separate. Yeah, he gonna be just and say no. If she had to go to Sheol for the deformity, if it is said it is, he got to go too, because that's her mama. That ain't fair. That's a separation. That's a separation. These are things we never, you can come on, sweetie. She bring out, she gonna keep it, because he'll tear up something here by itself. It done froze up. Everybody quiet, we done had it. We need to say that one. That's for the people at home, man. But I appreciate that. He got my water. They ain't gonna burn me up out here, are they? How y'all feeling? They be colder than anybody out here, I don't appreciate it. So now we look at this because we try to consider where we are. And this is the word. This is not some of ourselves. We have to understand how this thing has actually been set up. We took a lot of stuff for granted, even for me. We feel like, hey, I'm preaching the word, so he can use me. He can do these things. But he's looking at what I got established. He said, I can't have you to come up in the offer. See, what people even look at, even with Mushah, when they look at him even coming, y'all didn't find it significant that he was actually not the Rosh Kohan, but Abarym was? See, you ain't pay attention. He only told me to tell you that because he said somebody was trying to outsmart you. My boss is smarter than everybody. That's why he told him, he said, make him your Nabal. Abarym was the Rosh Kohan that offered for them. Mushah just gave them the Torah. That's why I'm still teaching. He told you how to define me. You got a defect. You try to, I bring up something. I said, he said, oh, man, you done spit all over me. What you doing? How you get the offer something? He said, make Abarym, because you know people watching. He said, man, if that stuff, man, is a deformity, man, let him, see how he already had predestinated that. Abarym, listen, Mushah didn't get the offer and get the teach and write and get to instruct them in Torah. No, had somebody to do it. Hello? All these things we start to come back and we start to consider how we've taken a lot of things for granted. This way not ours. Listen, all this was organized and strategized by somebody for our salvation. It's not just something that just happened. He actually organized and set this up, and he knows what he's doing. And when we become accepting of his will and just realize, Yahuwah have mercy on whom he will.
That's right.
He had recome on whom he will. I'm grateful for everything he done. What do I? Was it a door, eye, hand, finger? Oh, got the finger. That's it. Did you do that? It got closed on the car door. See that? What you did, you said, if you were to close, you throwed it on your own. If it were any way you could, you would have avoided it. Yeah. So will we, wouldn't we? It was any other way, wouldn't we avoid the defects we have? That's what we're looking at with people. That's what we looked at when the people looked, they were prone to Qatar. If they could, they would avoid it. Even Yahusha told you when he went, he said, one of the enemy that did to me. He said, then I could have took it. It wasn't even him that hated me. He said, I could have hid myself. He looked at it. If I could have got out, he said, I would have done it. We'd have got out of it, but we couldn't. That's the part where people start looking at how that man predestinated, how he had recome on whom he will, and how he hardened himself on whom he will. Y'all got it? Yes, so they finna hear who else it got. See, we came in saying, well, they out here, and he's let you know. That's why what I told him now, you ain't far removed. Then I said it. I said, see, we good. See, that's why you gotta be careful how you look and judge people. I even said that with Jaden. You gotta be real careful. You gotta be. It ain't about him, and I ain't coming for nobody. We have been quick to kill, run and tear everybody down, and didn't even know you be sitting in transgression. You could be sitting yourself right in transgression. That's why it's good for us to consider ourselves. When I told you this about cleaning up the well, y'all, I meant that. Can they see me inside in there? Oh, they can't. Oh, I gotta stand the door. Well, I make it work. I want y'all. They looking at. You know these folks finna do him. Folks talk. I seen somebody here hitting themselves in the eye. I gotta get in the hallway. But I want to make sure everybody see me because I want to make sure I'm accessible to them. But all of this are the things that we're looking at, we're considering how we have taken things for granted and have not considered the way that these people, the rock that the people came before, all the things they suffered to get to that point. We just came in with, I'm in here, baby. I got it. I get it. I'm waiting on the Holy Ghost. I'm waiting on the rock, whichever terminology people used at the time, and not understand. We haven't understood the way. We have not understood the way. And a lot of people didn't realize when Yahuwah came out, he didn't even make a barith with people that didn't come out with him. He was like, how can I? You hadn't even known it. He said, you hadn't known it. You hadn't seen it. How am I make a barith with you about that somehow established when they came out of Mizraim? You weren't even there. And here you go attaching yourself to a barith that you can't possibly have any enjoyment to because you weren't there. These people suffered. When you read the 11th chapter book of Abarym, they call Hebrew, he talks about these people. These people suffered in caves, in sheepskin. They were slain. They were torn asunder. These people went through a lot, and these all did what? King, what they do? They were but not having received the what? They did not receive the promise. They came through by the Torah, but they couldn't get the promise. And now we come up on the promise, and we're trying to go back and look at it. You got to understand the Torah to get this thing. You got to come through. Come on, finish that. Find out who else he got.
or one who has a blemish in his or eczema, or scabs.
Hold on. Or eczema?
Yes.
Eczema? Then they're talking about exotic. No, you know what I said. And looking around that tongue, there ain't no eczema. This is a birthstone. And your mom said, come on, son. Your mom said, she said, Ian, on the back of your leg. Come on, Joe, you got eczema. Come on, your little written quota. Come on out here, your quota. Look, who else? Buck. Buck talking about, it ain't here today, though. Who else got eczema? Who checking? Leon said, I think I get it. It's the woman. But I'm saying it, but now you go, but this is what y'all think about. Look at this. This is what I want us to understand. This is how serious the way is. You know why we sitting out here and why you sitting down? It's called election. It's called election. So you understand how much you take for granted. Then you murmur, you grumble, you complain about, you don't consider. It's all according to this man, how he organized, how he strategized. Nothing is done by chance or by accident. It's who he had recalm on and who he hardened himself on. When we was on that side, how many of us murmured? Put the camera, he getting the camera, they can see them. Can the camera show him? She brought Uriah said, I'm going to choke the piss out of somebody, I know that. Uriah said, if I'm going down, somebody getting choked up in here. Okay, I can win. Has it gone out so people can't see us on the camera?
Live stream is still rolling, but.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Soon we went to the kids.
Oh, okay, so we went to the kid. No, let's get, where they at? Where the kid took that camera? Where their parents at? Where their checkbook and their credit card? Look at that. A lot of people came together. You see how he put a separation? You see how we take stuff? Think about how much stuff we take for granted. Come on, we just assume we all him. Why didn't I tell for? Listen, this man designed the way for a reason. He designed the way for a reason. And you know what you have to do? You still got to stay focused. You still got to keep the path. Because when it come down to it, it's for the individual. We all come in here collected, but when it come down to it, the individual got to keep their mindset for this thing. This the way. We took a lot for granted. Well, y'all, we played a lot. And then he realized the whole time we were looking at, I got to look at this, look at that. Then he started showing you, when he told you to cleanse yourself from all filthiness of the flesh and the ruach, there's some things you can't purify. There's some things that are down. And then he come back and he try to show it to us. To realize the state we in, the seriousness, the severity of what we've done and what's happened with us. Now we try to look for remedy. Let's see what else he call out.
Or scabs, or crushed testicles.
Hold on for a second. If you got this, do this. Because these people here ain't strong like this. If you fall up on that last one, wait till something else come up. Hold on for a minute. Hold on, stop. I don't even want to see. If you got a scabs, hold on, buddy. He talked after that too now. You got a scab? Look at it though. Look how we started out. You see why? That's why we got, y'all look, let's do that. I get that. I'm finna make a tape on TDJ and Fall Prophets. That's what I'm finna preach on now. That's what we got time for? Look where we at. Look where we at. Y'all need to sit down. Y'all come over here. Y'all ain't got to stand. Come on, y'all sit at the table. Yeah, well, now I ain't want y'all to stand. Y'all come sit over here. Look at it. It's getting less and less, ain't it? When you go through the work, listen. He gonna aim, but I try to tell the man, I try to show you. A lot of stuff we take for granted. Well, we got credit. These folks like, please don't read no more. Crib about like that. He like Eddie Murphy on light reading that letter. Hold on for a minute. The dog got the worms. Who got the worms in there? He's still trying to get, can they still hear me though on live streaming? Oh, so live streaming, y'all can hear me. Can they see the what he reading? Oh, they can? Okay, they just can't see us yet. Appreciate it. Okay, come on. What else we got?
Any each of the seed of Abarym, the Kohen, in whom there is a blemish in him, shall not come near to offer the fire offering of Yahuwah.
Y'all hear
Since
that?
he has a blemish, he shall not come near to offer the lakam of his all.
Y'all hear that? That man said you can't offer up nothing. Right now we get up and let's try to sing something. Let's just try to give him the praise, give him the kabul. He just said you can't do it. And then we find out we all the seed of Abraham, because he said I made you Kohen and Malachi. So you done got yourself trapped. Maybe I'm from Simeon. He said, but I made you Kohans. The only way you can be a Kohen, you got to come through the tribe of Louis. He doesn't, and he said, I made you Kohans, which means now, guess what? I just made you liable. I just made you liable. Now, who in here can fix themselves? Who in here can correct themselves? Who in here can do it? 47th chapter, say the 49th chapter of the book of Tahalym. Appreciate that. We'll stay with him. That tight, Boston. That tight. But I was leaning on that door, body said, please step. He said, step. that man like I'm a disease. That man, I was leaning, I had a nice little lean. That man, he said, please, you can go back. No, you good. All right. I mean, that's the ball. If we're going to be saved, you're going to have to take it the way you give it. That's the thing. How we've been in the past, all of us, we've taken things to how we like it. We've taken things to how we want to understand things versus what did he say? The 49th chapter, book of Tahalym, 49:1, listen.
Shama this,
Here it is.
all
the people,
give ear,
listen.
all inhabitants of the alarm.
If you're on the alarm, I don't care, live streaming, inside there, in the back in the gym, wherever you at, everybody on the whole planet.
Yes, sir.
Listen.
Both Bani of mankind.
Both the Bani of mankind.
And Bani of Adam.
And the Bani of Adam.
Together. Rich and poor.
Rich and poor.
My pa shall speak kakmath.
See that? Now he said I'm going to speak a skill. Listen.
And the meditation of my lob shall be da'ath.
See that? And what's going to be in my lob, in my heart?
Oh, banah.
It's going to be banah. You hear that? It's going to be understanding. It means it's going to be the ability to do. Listen.
I shall incline my ear to a marshali.
You hear that? To what they would call a parable.
I shall express my riddle on a harp.
Come on.
Why should I Yaquara in a yamim of adversity?
That's what he just said. Why now I'm going to sit around and I'm offended day of adversity? Come on.
When the iniquity of my foes surrounds me.
That's what he was looking at. When my enemies start to surround me. Come on.
Even those who trust in their wealth and boast in the abundance of their riches.
That's what we've done. People do it all the time, what they got and how much they got. What happened?
No ish can by any means redeem his ak.
Y'all hear that? No man, none of us are him. As much as I want to, I couldn't redeem one of y'all. And none of y'all couldn't redeem yourself. And no more than Michelle's son could redeem her, no more she could redeem him. Nobody could redeem themselves. We never really looked at this estate. That we're on the outside and not one of us in here can redeem ourselves. And we didn't know why. Why is it?
Nor give Elohim a ransom for him.
See that? And nor can you give a ransom for him.
For the redemption of his nafash is costly, and its cease a long.
You see what he told you? He said, cause the redemption of your soul is costly. That's why he gave back that 30 pieces of silver, because you'd have thought you had redeemed yourself. That's why he gave it back to you. He said, no man can do it. No man can do it. Nobody can redeem himself. He wants you to know the expense it was for your soul. And the fact that you knew that nobody could redeem you was set in that estate, that's why it was so prevalent. That's why people were actually looking and waiting on him, because they realized there was nothing in our ability. We didn't come in that way. We came in, they told us you were drinking or smoking with on your breath. You know what, son? God loves you. He not looking at that drinking. He take the prostitute. He takes the drunk. He takes the liar. He takes the homosexual. And then what we had? A church full of drunks, a church full of homosexuals, a church full of liars, a church full of prostitute, homongers. Quiet. Why I think these folks been poor? Because they gave everybody a bad premise. Well, he clearly told you that not one of you can redeem yourself. And we didn't see it. But the people who came through by the Torah understood it. That they knew when they were outside, it was no way they could be brought back in. They were done. All they can do is just like we do it, you can set and gaze. This is what he told Musha when Musha wouldn't believe him. He even showed you, did he walk? He couldn't get into the land. He told me he couldn't. He said, speak no more of this. He told him to get to the top of Pisgah. He said, look eastward and northward and westward. He said, your owner behold it. He said, but you won't enter in it. He did not let him walk in there. He said, no, you're not going in. That's as far as the Torah could take you. And now we have to understand that these people looked at, if the man that brought them there couldn't get in, where did that leave them at? A lot of people counted on Musha to be able to carry him over. He let him know he wasn't going to be able to do it. Musha had to let him know how old he was. He had gone as far as he can go with these people. He let him know it. He let him know too. He said, Yahuwah was angry with me for your sakes. That's what he told you. He put it on him. See, when Yahusha told her the father, the reproach of them that reproached thee fell on me, Musha told you first. You just didn't listen. When he said he was angry with me for your sake, he said he put it on me. And he couldn't get in. That was so that people could enter in. I often have prayed on that however it see fit, and I accept my job. If the people can get in, you are the beneficiaries of. I sit in a position as similar with the Kohan. A lot of things you come into acceptance of, and people who want to preach or whatever you want to do, you have to understand. We have to understand that a lot of things, he said, exempt yourself from it. I'm your inheritance. These people are going to possess. He let us know, I am your inheritance. He let us know, you won't get what these people get. I'm your inheritance. We have to set our affections more toward him. So now when you really look at taking on salvation, you have to transfer out of the estate you are. If you was going to take on a state, he said you're a Kohan, then you have to realize there are a lot of things you have to exempt yourself from. Just something we never thought about. Until you come through and start keeping the rituals and rites, you don't really understand it. What we understand for some of us, how many of y'all in there got relatives out here? Everybody in there got relatives out here. How many of y'all us out here got relatives in there? You ain't gonna believe it. That's how it's gonna be on the day of Mashpat. On the day of Mashpat, it's gonna be the same way. That's why you gotta consider. That's why every one of us have to consider our estate. Y'all got it? 14th chapter, book of Auryah, they call Luke. 14 and 14. We took a lot of things for granted. Listen.
You shall be Barak when they have no way to repay you.
So what now?
You shall be Barak when they have no way to repay you.
You see that? He's talking about being able to loan and give to people that can't repay you back. He said you're going to be Barak when they can't pay you back. Listen.
For you shall be repaid at the resurrection of the Sadiq.
You're going to be paid back through what?
The resurrection of Sadiq.
See that? That's another pay that's bigger than the money you give to people to do. Listen.
One of those inclining Shama this debar and said to him.
One of those that were reclining at dinner who was sitting back, they heard this and this is what they said to him.
Barak is one who eats lakam in the Malkuth of the Alahim.
Y'all hear what he just said? He ain't gonna believe it. You just found out about the Benin, Aharum? They couldn't offer, they couldn't eat. Guess what one of them sitting back eating with him just said? Barak is them that are able to eat in the Malkuth of Alahim. Listen.
But he said to him,
what did he say?
A certain Ish made a large muad and invited many.
You know what happened? A certain man made a large muad and he invited many.
He shalak his abad at the time
and
of the muad.
He sent his servants at that time of the muad.
To those invited, saying,
To those that invited, saying, come.
For it is all ready.
For it was ready.
All of them began to extricate themselves at once.
Every one of them started to make excuses and try to uninvite themselves.
The first one said to him,
what did he say?
I have purchased a field.
So he just purchased a field.
Should I not go to see it?
Shouldn't I at least go and see what I just purchased? Who buys something blind and don't even know what they bought? Logically, doesn't that make sense? So excuse me. Go ahead.
I ask you to excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Another one said, I have purchased 5 yoke of cattle,
Yeah.
and I am going to inspect them. I ask that you excuse me.
Come on, anybody know that? How I know they any good? Sometimes you get a cattle, they can have where some of them will brush up against each other, they'll get a sore on the back of them, and it'll get infected. I need to go inspect them and make sure they're good, just like a Kohan. When you bring it to offer it, he got inspected. The person on it inspected, and he's the last inspector to certify it before it's offered. So just common sense, don't it make sense for me to go and check them out? Excuse me. Go ahead.
Another one said, I have taken in Isha, and on account of this fact, I am not able to come.
Just taking on a shah. The man said just taking on a wire, so he can't come. Excuse me. Please. Go ahead.
The Abad came and told those things to his Adon, and the owner of the Beth became furious. He said to his Abad,
What did he say?
go out at once to the squares of the city,
Go where now?
to the squares of the city,
That'll be the 4 corners. Do what?
and to the streets,
And to the street.
and bring here the poor,
The who?
the poor,
Somebody with no money?
yes sir, and the oppressed,
The oppressed?
and the blind,
The who?
blind,
The who?
blind, and the lame.
This is what I do for a living.
Yes sir,
You just didn't know it.
yes sir.
Come on, son.
The Abad said, my Adon, what you have commanded has been done, and still there is room.
Uh-huh.
The Adon said to the Abad, go out to the roads and to the pasture, and urge them to come, so that my Beth may be filled.
So it was a good thing when the other people rejected, they didn't come up. It was according to election.
That's right.
That's how we work our way. Abarym chapter 10, verse 17. They call it Hebrew. Listen.
And of their Kataim and of their iniquities I shall zabak no more. Behold, in Malchum, in place there, behold, in place that there is forgiveness of these things, there is no longer an offering on them for kata. Now, Akim, as we have confidence into the entrance of the Kodash Malchum by the Dam of
You hear that?
Yahushua,
And we have confidence in the what?
into the entrance.
That's going to be a doorway
Yes, sir.
into the entrance. What
of
happened?
the Kodash Malchum
By the Kadash Malkum,
by the blood of Yahushua,
by the blood of Yahushua.
Yes,
How
sir.
is that son?
by a new and living Darak, which he consecrated for us through the veil, that is his Basar.
What did he do?
And since we have a great Kahan over the Beth of Elohim, let us draw near now with the Amat Lab in completeness of Amunah, having our Lab sprinkled clean from a Roshel conscience,
And what happened?
and the Basar washed with pure Ma'im.
See, he bypassed all that. See, where you thought you didn't have no hope, he had already made a way. Pick me up at the book of Aleph Barnabas, they call it 1 Timothy, chapter 2. Turn down to verse 4. Listen.
Who desires that all the Bani of Adam to be saved.
What he desire now?
All the Bani
He
of
desire
Adam.
for all. How many of y'all have been in Adam? And you don't believe what he do. He desire for all you to be saved. Listen.
And receive the da'ath of the Amat.
And he wants you to receive the da'ah. He wants you to receive the knowledge.
Yes, sir.
How? Come on.
For the Elohim is one,
For Alahim is one.
and one mediator between Elohim and the Banim of Adam.
Listen.
He is the Ben of Adam,
He is the Ben of Adam.
the Mashiach Yahushua,
But Shiach Yahushua, the anointed one. Go ahead.
who gave himself a ransom for all.
Hold on for a minute. I thought we couldn't get no ransom. I thought nobody could redeem him. What did he do?
Who gave himself a ransom for all.
To do what?
This is the testimony given at due time.
Come on, folks. It's time to go home. Let's roll back in. What y'all waiting on? Danny, you came in through the exit. Danny's showing up in the spirit. He said, I'm ready to get home so fast. So you can see how these things play a part of your entrance, your exits. You see how it play a part of why he tell you, and we start off for a foundation that whatever written for a time. What was it written for?
Alignment.
So, you know what it also got you to do? It got you to understand an appreciation for the Torah. It gave you an appreciation for how those people came through and for what they suffered. And you understand, how did you get here? They'll sing a song, I know it was the blood. You just know, you know it because it's written. You know it because this is exactly how you got back here. None of us could redeem ourselves. You ain't gonna believe it. My finger's still like this. Who still got the spot on their eye? Who still got the scab? I don't want to ask about them crab balls. It's just something I don't need to know. I just taking, like another message, I take your word for it. But to say that, and this is what you look at. People say, well, preacher, what we gonna do about it? I mean, we still got a deformity. What did Musha do about it? He was still stuttering.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is what you had to learn, okay? You had to have enough confidence in Yahuwah. His election worked just like he chose it, just like he set it up. He had a purpose the whole time. See, the old people that couldn't get it, they had to wait on us. They show how I'm gonna take law keepers who will fall in the shadow. I'm gonna take people that came under dispensation of Khan. I'm gonna take the two, and I'm sorry, at dawn, if I could. The two should be one flesh. That's what Yahusha came to do. That right there, what kept you out, that was called a partition. He tore that down. See, when he was up on the two, y'all remember they told you what happened when he gave up the ghost. Some was split in twain. Twain would be 3, 2. It was the veil. What he was doing, he was opening and uncovering the way for you. But because of how we came in under your grace and mercy, Christianics, you didn't understand how the Torah worked to get you here. You didn't understand the suffering. You didn't understand the neglect. You didn't understand the rejections that came with the Torah. That's why it was needful that he said, I already established a promise. He's a man of his word. That's why you're him. When y'all come in here, you know how you came. You know how you came over. Y'all got it?
Yes, sir.
That's what we need to know. You need to know how you come over.
Yes, sir.
Y'all, Haley that time she saw how you come over. Now you know how you came over.
Yes, sir.
That's good. Appreciate Mr. Yahuwah.